Welcome everyone to the Peak Politics Podcast. This is Andrew, joined by the other dude.
Wyatt. Okay.
There you go.
So nonchalant.
Yeah, no, I feel very relaxed today. We're recording this around 9:23 p.m. on Friday the 11th. That is going to be 9/11, unfortunately. We'll be releasing this probably tomorrow morning, though, so you'll probably get it then.
Yeah.
We're going to be covering some of the week's events. Of course, granted that we are doing this a day earlier than usual, we may be missing a few things, so hopefully not too much.
Yeah. As it would be.
Yes. Also, covering some stuff from last week, we decided to take off Labor Day. Ugh.
Yeah.
Got my holiday screwed up. Decided to take off Labor Day, just, celebration of the fact that laborers are laborers, so we'll just stop laboring.
Yep.
It worked. It makes sense. So, that's what we did. That's the reason why last week there wasn't a podcast.
Yeah.
But, unless we have any other holidays coming up, that should be pretty much unperturbed. I guess through Thanksgiving. Yeah. Thanksgiving, I imagine we won't have a podcast that week. But beyond that,
Yeah.
We will have a special episode. I think it's going to be next week because September 17th is Constitution Day.
Yeah.
So look forward to an additional hour or so of our content. Of course, it won't be political. It'll primarily be going over the Constitution. It'll be in the same vein as our Independence Day one. Over that was done the Declaration of Independence. It'll be similar to that. Yeah,
very similar.
All right,
and it'll be less political than that one was.
If we can manage it.
If we can.
Big if.
Because I did make a Joe Biden joke in the middle of the other one, so we'll see if
I feel tempted to do the same again. Probably will, so.
Probably.
All right, I think we're going to go ahead and jump right into the topics. The last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Mostly this last week, but there will be a few things from the week before. One thing actually from August I had to pull up just because discussing 9/11, unfortunately. As it were. Not a fun event to discuss, but there are some things we need to talk about. So, primarily that Bush did it. No, I'm just kidding.
It was an inside job.
Although, on that topic, Wyatt, you can corroborate this. I'm sure anyone could that's on the internet long enough.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember them removing a picture from Jeffrey Epstein's residence in New York City.
Yes.
It was a painting of George W. Bush on the floor of the Oval Office, on the carpet, with 2 paper airplanes and 2 knocked over Jenga towers.
Yeah.
Not to say anything good about Jeffrey Epstein, but that's honestly not a bad sense of humor. That's actually, in my opinion, funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's pretty good.
I want that painting.
I mean, I couldn't actually stomach putting it anywhere in my house because it'd be connected to Jeffrey Epstein pretty much forever. Kind of hard to ignore that.
I mean,
but I could laugh at it.
A lot of people don't know about that. So.
But I do.
Yeah, that's true.
Expect to be called pedophile if I see it on your wall.
Okay, well, guess I'm gonna be called that because I really want to get it. Anyways.
Oof, that phrasing, Wyatt.
Yeah.
Phrasing. Out of context, that would sound terrible.
Yeah.
But in the full context of us knowing that Wyatt makes sweet, sweet love to children on a regular basis, it's a perfectly normal statement.
No. I'm not Scott Wiener, okay?
Not yet.
No, not ever.
All right, but jokes aside, let's jump into the first topic. This is going to be something that I'm mainly covering. It's kind of really lit a flame under me.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if this was this week or I think it was at the end of last week is where it was happening hereabouts. Talking about more of it beginning this week. A woman and an ex-soldier in Australia were arrested because they posted on Facebook that they were intending to go to an anti-mask and anti-lockdown protest. So they were going to go protest the government, and they signaled their intention to do so, and they were arrested. Let's just see if we can follow that train of thought there. I want to protest the government. That's what I want. I want to go protest the government. I tell Facebook that I want to go protest the government. Government shows up at my house and arrests me. There's some things there that you might find interesting. One, there's something to protest. So people in Australia are not happy with their government, at least some of them. That's interesting. Second thing that's interesting, you voiced it on Facebook, and the government knows about it well enough to come arrest you, so the government is monitoring your Facebook. third thing that's interesting. You can no longer protest the government in Australia. I'm being very calm about this, but I think you can see the fucking problem with that. I think that's pretty black and white. So, Wyatt's thoughts? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's extremely
I got a lot of thoughts on that.
Disgusting. Like,
right.
it's just insane that this is something that is allowed there to just trample on,
Now in Australia, you have no legal right to assembly, as far as I understand. It's not.
Right.
It is not outlined. Interestingly enough, though, that isn't how we think of rights. You have a human right to protest your government. It isn't a government-given one.
Yep.
So, say what you want about the laws in Australia allowing the police to do or not do this. I think they shouldn't allow them.
Yeah.
But at least recognize that that is a human right. Protesting your government is a human right.
Unlike healthcare, this is actually a human right.
Yeah, this is one of the things you actually do deserve.
Take that, Bernie.
Now, speaking on that, though, we're going to clarify the reason you don't deserve healthcare is because you don't have a right to someone else's labor.
Yep.
Or money. You have a right to your own time, and a right to your own opinion, and a right to tell your government to go fuck itself. You have no right to someone else's time, labor, or money.
Nope.
So, that's why you don't have a right to healthcare. Sorry. You don't get to own other things.
Sorry,
you don't have a right to things that other people own.
Yep.
Although socialism would tell you the explicit opposite. I don't care if you put it to a vote, it's still theft.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But,
it's just like we said a couple weeks ago, the opposite of the truth.
Yeah, and that's interesting. That's another interesting thing. But I mean, that was the other thing that was interesting with the Australian stuff is that I'm fairly certain they have. I want to say they have some form of socialized healthcare there. I don't know what it is though. I don't know anything about the Australian healthcare system.
I don't either.
And maybe they don't. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I know they're a slightly like center-left leaning country. Generally speaking, they're not far left. I think the overall impression was they're slightly freer than the UK. Not much, but slightly. That is no longer the impression. This is very much been refuted by the recent events. Now, I mentioned those two people who were arrested for signaling their willingness to attend this protest, their intention to attend this protest. They were, by the way, arrested for incitement.
Yeah.
I guess they were inciting people to protest the government. You're not allowed to tell people to dislike the government. That would be a violation of the government's authority.
Nice.
I couldn't think of a legitimate reason. I really had to struggle there. So, I tried. I really did. I really made an attempt to mock them as ruthlessly as possible. But yeah, so I seriously, tell me what incitement. What are you inciting people to do? To protest? Because that's the thing. If they're saying you're inciting people to break the lockdown rules. Yeah, it's a protest against them. You idiots.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was the two people arrested, but there was a third person arrested that you might find rather interesting. This guy was named Avi Yasemi, I think it was.
Yemeni.
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 Yemeni
or Yemeni?
Yemeni. Yosemite. I'm sorry. But he was arrested. He's a Rebel News reporter. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rebel News. I think they're primarily Canadian-based, but they have subsidiaries everywhere. I mean, they're in every country, more or less. That's a Western democracy, I suppose. Mainly fighting against government tyranny. Reporting on it, whatnot. They're sort of, I guess, more libertarian, more center-right. Hard to say. I don't watch a ton of their coverage. I just more or less understand their programming. I think Ezra Levant is their big dude. He's the owner of the organization. But they're rather interesting. I know for a fact they hosted Gavin McInnes for a while. That's where I know them from, is I watch a lot of Rebel content featuring him. Because he's hilarious. He's quite hysterical. But this guy, Avi, was a reporter for Rebel News, and he was going to report on the protest. He had his media permit with him. They're in the video, and in the link we listed, there's a couple of there's a 23-minute long video, and at the very beginning it shows him being arrested. But if you watch the video further, you'll see he films himself as he's going into the city. They've set up roadblocks. You're not allowed in or out of the city without the police telling you. Freedom of association, not so much.
Yeah.
Freedom to travel wherever you like, not so much. Freedom of the press, not so much. Freedom of speech, no, I'm not here.
Yeah.
I'm concerned what would happen if you tried to pray in a public place. Maybe that's the one final freedom we shouldn't be testing in Australia. But anyway, most of the First Amendment is not a non-existent thing for them. None of those rights. Freedom of assembly, nope. Freedom of association, nope. Freedom of speech, nope. Freedom of press, nope. So he went there, and you can see him in the video, right in that second video he shows. Where he's going through the checkpoint. He's presenting his permit, so he has alerted the police he's in there. Like, they know who he is. They know he's permitted to be there. They know why he's there. That is the police as the organization. Maybe these specific police that arrested him didn't understand this, but I think they well understood what he was, which was a legitimate reporter. And legitimate reporters aren't always the best thing for the government, you might find.
Mm-hmm. As we know in this country, also well.
Mm-hmm. Which is why you find a lot of them, assassinated, poisoned, shot, mutilated. I mean, in Mexico, it's really all of them. I mean, Mexican reporters get screwed regularly, which is a real tragedy. No one likes to talk about. But, they're usually going against the cartel and the government. Well, the cartel is the government in Mexico, so same difference.
Yeah, for real.
But, so he was at the protest, and there's a short video he shows at the beginning where there's a police, I guess, commander. I guess he's top police there. Very tall man. He comes up and he says something. I don't see yada yada yada. I don't see a legitimate purpose for you being here. I want this man arrested. I can't do an Australian accent, so I'll just. I want this man arrested. And he like pokes him in the chest. I want this man arrested. And then like 6 police officers come up and like tackle him. Did you see the video?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well you should definitely view it.
Okay.
It's insane. I mean, it's functionally insane. Like, it's actually, like, it is a perfect window into the insanity of the Australian government right now. Guy comes up, and this is Avi is behind the police line. He is discussing what's going on. He's just talking to his microphone, looking at his cameraman. Guy comes up, I don't see any purpose for you being here. I want this man arrested. His body slammed to the ground. What the hell? What the actual hell was he doing that was wrong?
Police brutality?
Yeah, you want to talk about illegitimate police activity, police infringing upon the rights of the citizenry? Look at police in Britain. Look at the police in Australia. By the way, the police in the UK specifically, there was an incident where a man was on a train. I don't know what his... have you seen the video?
I think I heard about this. Yeah.
Okay, you should really watch this video, because this police officer... First of all, there's 3 things that are wrong in this video that are hilarious. First and foremost, the guy says he doesn't... Yeah, exactly. I think I saw that too. But anyway, the guy says, I don't have to wear a mask. So I guess he's citing some law. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't actually know what the law is currently regarding trains in the UK. But, regardless, he's correct. You should never be forced to wear anything. Well, okay, listen, you can't, public indecency, you're infringing upon other people's rights to, not have to see that. I guess you can consider that psychological damage. I don't know. There's probably some good argument for public exposure laws. But no, the government can't force you to wear a mask. That would be... generally speaking, that would be considered infringement on your rights, right? Remember the my body, my choice argument that went out the fucking window?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it sure did.
By the way, it's a legitimate argument when it's actually your body.
Yep, like with the masks.
Exactly. So that was interesting to see go out the window, but regardless, that's not what we're talking about. Anyway, this guy was on a train in the UK. The police says you have to wear a mask, whatever. He said, no, I don't. And I guess the police is not allowing the train to leave. And policeman, and so what happens is basically a fight ensues. Like, he starts struggling, trying to grapple the dude, trying to grab his face, do all this other crap, and they just fight for like a minute, just struggle for like a minute. And this is one of those things where it's like, here's what's wrong with it. The first thing that's wrong with it is that policeman decided that was his right or job, neither of which is true, neither of which is correct. Secondly, he got violent with a guy who just simply... He Rosa Parks the dude. He literally Rosa Parks this dude. He said, I'm sitting here without this mask. I'm not moving. I'm not resisting.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit in this seat. And the guy's like, no, the fuck you ain't. And so he violently assaults a guy that is doing literally nothing to... nothing. Yeah. Not a damn thing. He's actually in the act of doing precisely nothing. That is what was going on at the time. He is sitting in his seat without a mask on. That's it. That's all he's doing. He's sitting in his seat. Yeah. He's sitting in a seat on a train, which is effectively what you would call doing nothing.
Yeah.
So he's doing nothing. So he violently assaults a guy that's doing nothing, more or less. Mm-hmm. Puts his hands on him, at least, which I would consider an assault, and I would consider it violent. Because he gets rather rough with him. He is obviously exercising authority he doesn't have. That's one issue. The violence is the next issue. And the third issue is, if you actually thought you had a right to arrest this man, why couldn't you do it? Why could you physically not do it? If you're a police officer, why could you literally not restrain this dude?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you don't carry a gun on you.
Maybe
it's because you have no legitimate. You're not a threat.
Yeah.
You're just a jackass with a badge, and everyone knows it. You're not a legitimate human being. I mean, you're a human being, but you're not a legitimately imposing human being. Like, you don't strike me. You're just like a nameless, faceless, gelatinous piece of shit.
Cock waffle.
Thank you. That works.
Globalist cuck.
Globalist cuck. Like, you're not. You just don't feel like a person to be taken seriously. Like, police officer, whether they're right or wrong, tries to put me in cuffs in this country, I am not fighting back.
Nope.
No, under no circumstances. But in the UK, a cop looks at me wrong, I'll beat the shit out of them. Yeah, why not? What are they gonna do?
Yeah, they can't shoot you.
They can't shoot you.
Especially if you have a knife. And they definitely can't do anything.
Oh, you got a license for that knife? Oh. It's like, it goes bad.
You know,
it's a bad system over there. They don't know how to do. The English have been ruling the world for centuries, up until the point we told them to go F themselves, and since then they simply haven't known what to do.
Yeah,
they've forgotten.
They just go down. They just went down from there.
It's like, okay, didn't you used to rule the world with an iron fist? I guess you're so guilty about that you decided you weren't even going to properly manage your own citizens.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ. So that's the third issue that I thought was really just, for me, quite hilarious, is that even if this guy wanted to arrest this man, he has no power. He's physically. Now, maybe legally he has the authority. Physically, he cannot do it.
Yeah.
Because the dude's stronger than him. As far as I can tell, this guy's in a standing position. He has the high ground, as you might say. Yep. Tries to grab the dude. The dude is sitting in his train seat, holds him off for a while.
Yeah.
Single-handedly.
Right, yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
It's over, cop. I have the high ground.
I know. No, the cop has the high ground.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's over, criminal. I have the high ground.
This is like Obi-Wan and Anakin facing off, and Obi-Wan doesn't have a lightsaber, but he's like, it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. And he jumps down and just gets impaled. Or so Anakin jumps up, just impales him. It's like, well, he didn't have a lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's like, get wrecked, scrub. Like, what do you want me to do?
What should have happened at the end of Revenge of the Sith? No, I'm not saying that.
Anyway, it's just the point being that everything about the video is wrong. I will try and find a link for you guys. I really will.
Yeah.
The first three are more important because it's the arrest in Australia, specifically about protesting the government. Sure. That's really interesting. But I'm just saying the UK, Australia, these other countries, like, if you think that America is somehow a worse country than these countries, you're retarded. Like, you actually don't have either eyes or a brain. And, you certainly don't have anything remotely approaching common sense.
So, I think it's the latter.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with the second option.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my big beef with that. It's just that it's and this is the other thing I want to talk about with the Australia stuff that we talk about all the time. The media talks about it, not all the time, but it was for a while. It was a topic of debate. The Australian gun buyback. How effective was it?
Yep.
I'd say pretty damn effective. Look, people can't even protest anymore. That was pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'd say it was pretty effective.
Yeah.
Spread that government tyranny far and wide. Didn't take you but 2 decades. Literally.
Yeah.
We're talking about 97. When I believe that was instituted, and here we are 2 decades later, you're not allowed to protest the government.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
It's like, it's a Western democracy. You'd never be tyrannical 2 decades later. Oi! What are you doing protesting the government? I can't do an Australian accent, I'm sorry, guys.
No, you can't.
I'm not a backwards enough person for that.
Nope.
Or upside down enough person for that.
There you go.
I just don't know how to do it. But I guess maybe I could impersonate Steve Irwin, but that would feel wrong. This is the other thing, is like, if your country could produce someone like Steve Irwin, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you can literally produce a walking demigod, but you can't give your citizens the right to protest? Like, are you shitting me?
Such a good compliment. And accurate.
Let's be honest. Australia didn't produce him. It's the animals in Australia that produced him.
You're right.
Anyway, it's just like, what the hell, man? So yeah, I just figured that warranted a significant amount of attention. No one's really talking about it. I don't understand why.
Oh yeah. That's what really blew me away about it.
Protesting the government. We have 3 people arrested in Australia right now. for protesting the government. That's why they were arrested. Now, I mean, Avi got out. He's media. Like, I don't think they have any grounds to hold him at all. Yeah. That's where the third one was the most egregious. It's like, he is literally behind your police line reporting on the incident that you guys are covering. Yeah. You guys are there for. Out in force to scare people for. And he is allowed to be there. You allowed him through your checkpoint. He's in the system. You know who he is. I'm sure they wrote down who came in and when they came in. So you know when and where this guy entered the city. You know who he is. Everyone traveling with him has a media pass. Permit, rather. What the hell? What grounds do you have to arrest a journalist who is there legitimately reporting on an actual incident that's occurring?
Because apparently,
and if you think it's not an incident occurring, why are there so many police there?
Yeah.
You can see just in the video, there's like dozens of them.
Right.
I'm sure there are way more off camera. So it's like, he's there reporting on an event. What the hell?
Yeah.
But let me guess, he isn't sucking government cock, so you can't have him.
Yeah.
He's not gargling your cum, so I guess he's not worthy to cover your events.
I guess not.
Fuck the government. Fuck every single one. Every government sucks.
Exactly.
Not a single one is good. Not one of them is acceptable.
Nope.
Except the Communist Chinese Party. All hail the CCP.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was, for me, the number one story the last couple of weeks was just seeing how Australia has gone full tyranny.
It's a big story, man. And
like, it's a soft tyranny because there's still a lot of things. You're not locked in your home. You're not like at gunpoint for everything. It's a soft tyranny, but it's undeniably a tyranny. You cannot protest the government, and they will use force to stop you. So it's undeniably tyrannical at this point.
Yeah, you want to talk about actual tyranny, CNN, instead of saying that Trump was tyrannical? Yeah.
System of a Down song, Dear Dance. Have you ever heard of Dear Dance by System of a Down?
No.
It's about crap like this, pushing little children with their fully automatics. They like to push the weak around, pushing little children with their fully automatics. And it's talking about police.
Gotcha.
Talking about government intimidation at protest.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's like, it's exactly what. So if you haven't listened to Dear Dance by System of a Down, this song accurately covers the mood.
There we go. Sponsorship. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
we're not going to have sponsors for a while.
No. We're never going. Actually, ideally, we'd never have sponsors because then I'd be beholden to someone.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that was the first topic. I digress. I'm done. I've said my bit.
Wait. Real quick. I just want to say that about that story is I'm actually really bothered. Well, not necessarily bothered, but I'm actually really annoyed that nobody. Yeah, I'm really annoyed that nobody really covered this.
Okay.
Yeah, that no one really covered this. Like Knowles. I was expecting Knowles to cover it because he's usually pretty good at picking up like stories like that, but he didn't cover it. Well, actually, he might have covered it this week, but he was off this week, so maybe that's why.
Maybe I missed it, right? Maybe I missed the fact that this is a regular occurrence in Australia, but I had not yet seen someone arrested for protesting the government in Australia. That actually, for me, as far as I can tell, was first.
Right,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's more cases of this. Maybe this is a regular occurrence, but it didn't feel regular to me.
No, I don't think so. And Ben didn't talk about it. And if it's happened within the past 2 years, he hasn't talked about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Did Clavin talk about it? Because I haven't watched this episode this week.
So
okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch all his content this week, so I don't know. But the Daily Wire people, Fox News had some articles on it briefly. Mainly Rebel News was covering it. I mean, there's a couple, the Daily Caller, Post Millennial. I mean, there are newspapers covering it. Yeah. Or news sites, but I mean, it wasn't in the mainstream of conservative news.
Right. Yeah.
And you think that would be pretty up there.
Yeah, and I would also think that would have been one that Crowder did. Because Crowder's really good at picking that stuff
or some gun rights activists would have been on it, But like, maybe on YouTube they were and I'd missed it.
Maybe.
Or maybe I'm not missing anything. Maybe we're being censored.
Maybe.
I don't know. Hard to say, but like.
Yeah. No, but I would have figured that.
I would have expected wall-to-wall coverage for about 2 days.
Yeah.
On that story, minimum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but Guess not.
But then again, it's the exact same crap happening here, right? You can't go to church, but you can go to BLM protests. So I mean, the government's not.
Yeah, and you can go to Planned Parenthood.
Yep. Killing children, an essential service.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a Democrat, yes, because more black babies is a bad thing for white supremacist Democrats.
Yeah. White supremacist Nancy Pelosi.
Speaking on Planned Parenthood, speaking on this all, like I wanted to say this in the most explicit and probably disturbing terms I possibly could. There was CNN, the media, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, Vox, you name it. You name any left-wing outlet. You name any left-wing politician. There is not a damn thing that gets them off like dead black children. Like, oh my God, do dead black people get them off? Holy crap. I swear to God, like, I guarantee you, I bet you money that's at least one of the CNN anchors, probably Stelter, because he seems like the most scummy of them all.
Nuisance money.
Nuisance money. I wouldn't be shocked to see them with folders of dead black people. Like, pictures, so they can jerk off when they go home, obviously.
Oh, man. Okay, Alex Jones.
I'm not saying interdimensional space demon like pedophiles, okay? I'm not saying that.
You gotta say it in Alex Jones voice, bro.
They're interdimensional, child molesting space demons. All of them. Everyone, gay frogs, all of them.
I think my Alex Jones is better.
It probably is, but I think that Alex Jones, in any voice you do, no matter how crazy you sound, you're accurately portraying Alex Jones.
That's fair. Yeah, that's why J. Jonah Jameson was so good in the Spider-Man game, because he sounded like Alex Jones.
Oh yeah.
Like, they were definitely going for Alex Jones there.
Dude, Jameson's great.
Oh yeah, no, he's
I
great.
Recently watched Spider-Man 2, and I'd forgotten that the scene with the whole, like, can I get paid in advance? I forgot that whole scene with Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I thought that was the first movie for some stupid reason. Just the laugh Jameson gives, oh my God.
Yeah, it's so good.
Jameson as a character is phenomenal. Anyway, okay, back on topic. Yeah, you would just expect more coverage. That's all.
Yeah.
You would expect more coverage.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
And I guess the takeaway from the last couple of months, from everything, is that if you think that any safeguard in any of these countries set up so that people would have human rights in the UK and Australia so they could exercise their freedoms, if you think any of those safeguards would mean a damn thing without a gun behind them, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You need an armed populace, otherwise this is going to happen.
Exactly.
So, that's all I have to say about that.
Yep.
And the media jerks off the dead black children. Just putting that out there.
Right. There you go.
Nancy Pelosi probably does too, but I mean...
well, we'll talk about her in a minute.
I mean, she's so old and she's dry, and I'm sure her joints crack every time she moves. So
yeah, I'm sure she also doesn't have a lap as well.
No, yeah, exactly. I don't think that it's fun for her to do that anymore. She probably stopped. She prefers going to hair salons, putting them out of business by telling blatant lies about them.
Yeah,
being a self-righteous cunt.
Yep, we'll get to that and a few topics. All right, so you want to talk? You said the first three you wanted to do.
Yeah. This second one's really interesting. I'm gonna have you comment on this, obviously, because I think you have some thoughts on this.
Yep.
But
I do.
Trump was obviously nominated for a Peace Prize regarding his UAE deal, which I think is a totally great, phenomenal. He should have already earned one, honestly, for his pulling troops out of the Middle East and whatnot. He should have already earned one for something. But I'm glad to see that this achievement's not going unnoticed. I think the first article we linked is a
politics. Yeah, USA.
No, it's politics. USA.
Politics us. USA.
Wait, no. Politicus. I'm calling it Politicus.
No, it is Politicus. What the hell?
Well, could be Politics us too, but I'm calling it Politicus.
Well, no, it's Politicus, because if you look down on the article, then it says Politicus News with Sarah Jones.
It's totally relevant. We linked an article where they're just laughing, where it's laughable because they are saying that it's an anti-immigrant person nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, when I think about peace in the Middle East and the Jews getting along with the Muslims, my first thing is, well, the guy that recommended you give him a Peace Prize for it doesn't like Muslims in his country. It's like, well, they are raping a lot of people, so that's really something you need to be bringing up. Is this really relevant?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No.
When you say anti-immigrant, you mean a rational human being who's seen the effects of mass Muslim immigration in his country. Anyway, again, off topic. So, I think Norway, right?
Yeah,
Norwegian politician, nominated him for it. Awesome.
Yeah,
and
good
then
stuff.
He's been nominated for his second one as of today.
Yeah.
This one from a U.S. politician, I believe, regarding the Serbia, Kosovo?
Yeah.
Kosovo? There's some countries I'm unfamiliar with. Y'all forgive me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a country even. Regardless, Kosovo. Regarding that peace deal that apparently he
had
a part of. Yeah. So that was interesting. And this is the thing, is like it takes 3 years of Trump being a bang-up, amazing anti-war, like, hell yeah, we're going to bring peace, we're not going to have fighting, we're going to make the world a safer place. Like, I mean, just a phenomenal foreign policy president. 3 years of that.
Oh, yeah.
To even get nominated for a Nobel Prize. I think he's been nominated before, but they eliminated him immediately.
Something like that.
Obama gets one for breathing.
Yeah.
And that's the guy that nominated Trump for the first one said as much. He's like, yeah, the first guy got one for nothing. Like, Obama got one for literally nothing.
Yeah, and it seemed that Obama didn't even know why he was there.
It really didn't seem like he did.
I don't know why I'm here.
I was
but,
black in America.
Yep.
That's why I was there.
And
this award.
I guess I'll just get it for breathing.
I bombed a lot of civilians.
No. Droned. Okay? Drones.
No, I eradicated them with high-yield explosives in Libya. Yes, they launched on a drone, but I did it personally. I demanded more dead Libyan children. That's right. So I decided that I deserved Peace Prize.
And then I went to Center Conservatives. And I went and I
asked the IRS, hey, I got some political opponents. Would you mind auditing them? So I deserve a Peace Prize for being the most benevolent dictator you've ever seen. Okay, I'm done mocking Obama, but you get the point. He's a jackass. He didn't ever do anything to earn it. Last time I checked, killing civilians via drone strike in Libya, not a good way to earn a Peace Prize.
Yeah, and then,
unlawfully
declaring war on Libya.
Maybe those guys, Peace Prize.
No.
Maybe those guys.
Mm-hmm. And I love how the media was like, as soon as he was like, well, not even as soon as, before he was even, like when it was still in the primaries and stuff, like they were saying, oh, if Trump gets elected, he's going to be a warmonger. And then, boom, 3 years later, he's like the most peaceful president.
Well, that's the other thing, is like he had a consistent record on a number of wars. Like he had been consistently like anti-war, or at least anti-involvement. He's been a semi-isolationist pretty much forever.
Oh yeah, he has.
I'm not shocked by his behavior. I'm shocked I'm shocked how good his negotiating has been on the world stage. You know what I mean? Like with Iran, when he does use force, it's pointed, it means something, and it gets the effect he wants immediately.
Exactly.
Yep. See, when Trump drops a bomb on people, they tend to actually be terrorists.
Yeah.
Now, I will admit, full disclosure, I know Trump's continued a lot of the drone strikes,
Yeah.
Like, he didn't stop a lot of it. No, it's more. I mean, it ramped up, I think.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't as much as Obama, I'm pretty sure.
I'm fairly certain it is, actually. But Obama was just continuing a trend of, some stuff from Bush. I mean, they all increased drone strikes, basically, but...
Yeah.
At least he didn't start an illegal war in Libya.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his civilian rate is with those drone strikes. I don't know if Trump has been more careful regarding what he hits or not. Again, I don't know. I don't know how much control he has over the drone strikes. This may just be pre-approved operations, and I don't know to what extent he's really exercising any influence over that.
Yeah.
I'd like to think he knows what's going on, but who's to say, right? Probably does. I'm not saying he's perfect on it. I'm not saying he's a perfect angel when it comes to peace,
Yeah.
But
he's been pretty well.
He is really amazing in a lot of ways.
He's the first president in how many years? I think Bill said like 39. I think Bill said like 37 or 39.
It's more like 54. I thought it was like Eisenhower or JFK or something like that. No, it couldn't be JFK.
No, Bill from I don't know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Bill Richmond.
But I got to swear it was 50. I thought it was Eisenhower was the last one not to start any wars. Because he was an extremely pro-peace president. Like, he was very, very clear.
It was after that.
After 54?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember who exactly. Maybe Jimmy Carter. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, it's not relevant. It's been decades. I mean, decades and decades upon decades.
It's been a long time
since a president actually decided not to get us involved in a war, which is nice.
Yep. Yeah.
I like that. Again, the drone strikes. We can discuss that. Time more or less. I don't like the concept of it going on, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that every other president in the last couple presidencies hasn't been doing similar crap.
Yep. Very true.
I'm also not going to pretend that I like George W. Bush enough to excuse him for doing less of them than Obama or Trump, because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Patriot Act, Iraq. I understand why he went into Iraq. I'm not saying I'm unsympathetic to why the Iraq War started. It was legitimate.
No, for sure.
Argue how right it was to go into Iraq or not. It was at least a legitimate war. He got congressional approval.
Yep.
Again, argue it how right or wrong that was. To your heart's content, but no, the Patriot Act and a couple other stuff that went down under George W. Bush, just ugh.
Yeah.
No. Not my favorite Republican.
Yeah.
More of a Trump fan. So that's been nice, no second Nobel Peace Prize nomination for this other peace deal, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I have a hard time believing he'll get one.
Yeah.
Just because, first of all, I don't know if he should even get one. I don't know if it should matter at all. They gave one to Adolf Hitler and to Joseph Stalin. Okay.
Yeah.
So. That's true. God, Joseph Stalin. Did Chairman Mao ever get one?
I don't know.
He killed 100 million people, so he should have.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, and then the UN got one that one time?
Yeah, I thought it was the EU.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the EU, yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it really is. Different, but same.
Come on.
Unnecessary acronym agencies. Much. Alright. But yeah, no, it's just cool stuff that Trump's been sort of anti-war.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't know if Mao ever won one. It's weird. You think after you kill 100 million people in a communist regime, the cucks over the Nobel Peace Prize would give you one.
Yeah, right?
Regardless.
Yeah, it's still awesome that Trump's being nominated for 2. That's awesome.
What?
What's up?
This is a article from 3 hours ago. The Atlantic calls to end the Nobel Peace Prize.
Did you hear? Donald Trump
following Trump's nomination.
Nobel Peace Prize. We went to CNN for comment.
Oh man, I didn't catch my sigh. Damn it. Stupid Mike. Why do you have to be so good at, excluding unnecessary.
Hey guys, I just found this article because I was looking up Chairman Mao. That's how I find a lot of my articles. I'm just kidding. But this is about the Nobel Peace Prize regarding, apparently the Atlantic has called for an end to the Nobel Peace Prize because Trump got nominated. Which, by the way, I'm totally on board with. I mean, fuck the Nobel Peace Prize. It's shitty. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But but the fact that they're doing it over Trump is just hilarious. It's like, Trump getting the Nobel Peace Prize, but he's been the most anti-war president in decades. He's pulled troops out of the Middle East. He got the Jews and Muslims to get along. Why would he get a peace prize? I can't understand it.
Nuisance money.
Nuisance money. For those of you who don't know, we're making fun of Brian Stelter there.
Yeah, it's a joke that Crowder.
I have a journalistic
doing, but it's good.
obligation to make fun of Brian Stelter. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna be making fun of Chris.
I have a duty to God to make fun of Brian Stelter.
Yeah.
He demands nothing less of me.
Yep.
Joking, all joking. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm sure he's happy about it. I'm not saying God would be unapprove of Stelter being mocked, but that may have been slightly blasphemous. So. Slightly.
Yeah.
Not as blasphemous as anything that comes out of Stelter's mouth. So fair enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, we mocked Stelter, I think, for long enough.
Oh yeah.
Let's move on to our third topic. This is another one I thought was interesting. This actually comes from early August, but August 13th. At that time, New York City canceled the memorial to 9/11, the light beams they did. It's the Tribute in Light is what it's called, I believe. And I have never personally seen it. I don't know too much about it. From what I've read, they just shine some pretty powerful lights right where the, I guess roughly where the Twin Towers were. And beams of light go up. You can see it from, I guess, from quite a ways away. And very simple tribute. I think it requires, like, from what I read somewhere, it was like 40 people to staff the whole event. Apparently 40 people to staff the whole event is too much of a concern for coronavirus. However, hundreds of people can at the same time gather for a Black Lives Matter protest. So, yeah. I thought that was worth mentioning, discussing 9/11. I think, today being 9/11, it's the 19th anniversary.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Of the event, which killed 3,000 Americans.
Yeah.
Many of them first responders. I'm not saying the Americans that died in the attack, the civilians, are unimportant. I'm just that, to clarify, that generally speaking, when we talk about 9/11, we're trying to honor the first responders who died.
Oh, yeah.
Those are, that's just generally speaking what a lot of these memorials are for. Obviously for the victims too, but generally, I'd say the general feeling of a lot of those events is trying to honor and uplift the people that give their lives so that we can, feel safe. Or so that we can know there's a safety net out there. There's firefighters, there's policemen, there's EMS. Those people that regularly put themselves in bad situations for the rest of us. And in the case of 9/11, many of them died. So, I think it's particularly insulting at the time that we're supposed to be loving our first responders and all the stuff, and the nurses and all the police. Remember the first responders to coronavirus. We gotta love them. We have to be all over them. We have to give them as much praise and support. If you're a first responder trying to, deal with the effects of Muslim terrorism, fuck you. How dare you try to stop Muslims from killing people? How dare you? I suppose. Honestly, that's probably way too harsh. I'm sure they're not that evil. They can't be that sadistic. But it kind of feels like a slap in the face. That you're going to let this crap go on the side, but you're not going to let us honor the people that died in 9/11. It's like, can you just, shut the fuck up? Because 3,000 people that died during 9/11, it's a lot more innocent people killed by a malicious force than anywhere in the U.S. regarding police. The police, you're allowed to protest the police, you're not allowed to honor the dead. Who legitimately were victims of an actual terrorist attack. Not the shit you say about the police.
Yeah.
Actual fucking victims. But I guess we're not allowed to talk about them. Certainly not when Jacob Blake rapes them.
Yeah, no. We can't mention that.
That would be terrible. We have to be proud of Jacob Blake for raping his baby mama. Sorry, but that's what it is. In front of her children. That's something we're supposed to applaud.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just kind of sickening that gets canceled, and then you're allowed to do all our other crap, though.
Yeah.
And it's like, what was the coronavirus concern? You could sit in your apartment in New York City and probably watch this event. So that's the impression that I get, at least.
Yeah.
Or televise it if you have to. But 40 people? That's what if I recall right. I could be totally wrong about that, but I believe 40 people was what they said was the average staff required to pull off the event. That's not a lot of people, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's total bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, just thought that was kind of disgusting and annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Considering today was actually 9/11. It's an older story, but I figured it warranted some discussion. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's...
This next one is another topic I brought up, but another topic that I'm more familiar with, but just kind of an interesting tidbit. We'll throw a link in. Voter registration in Pennsylvania, specifically Republican voter registration, is wildly outpacing Democrats. So in Pennsylvania, way more people are signing up for the Republican Party than Democrats. Thought that was interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's
link
very
to a story
interesting.
From Fox News. So feel free to check that out.
Yeah, which is good news, because he won...
long enough.
The good news for... Well, hold on. Before we get to that, I just want to make a quick comment on the voter registration thing.
Talk about all you want.
So I think that's awesome, obviously.
The
because Trump did win last time.
Nice to see.
Yeah, it definitely is. And he did win it last time. I'm not sure by how much of a margin, but I'm going to assume that it was close. So
it won't be close this time. I hope not, at least.
If anything, it'll be less close. But yeah, it's this is really good news.
Well, Pennsylvania being solidly blue for how long? So like,
I don't
this
know.
is just cool. These last 2 election cycles, it looks like they're really going to go red, man.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'll move there when Texas goes blue.
Nah, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna move anywhere, go to like Oklahoma. They're usually pretty good about stuff.
I want to move to Wyoming.
Okay, that's fair.
They're close to Yellowstone. They love guns. They have Gatling guns everywhere up there for some stupid reason.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
You know
I went
what?
to like 3
I might
different
follow
like
you
gun
there.
ranges and like gun rental places, like that did full auto, and every
Yeah.
one of them had like a brass like Gatling gun like replica in a corner.
That's awesome.
Like $40 a magazine, bro. Which is ridiculous, but
Yeah.
it was still
But
cool.
hey, yeah, sure.
Magazine being
Yeah, no.
20 rounds.
Yeah, $2 a round.
Hey, listen, it's a Gatling gun.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cool.
true.
It's cool. I ripped a hole in a target, straight hole. Looks like a cannonball went through it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was great, man. It's worth it. Worth every
there you
dollar. I went and shot it
Yeah.
twice when I worked in Yellowstone that summer.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, Wyoming's cool, man. I like Wyoming.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I'd probably move up there and just try and get like a regular job.
Yeah.
But if I could, I wouldn't mind living in the park.
Yeah, that would be cool. I could come visit you.
No,
Why?
no.
Oh, well, fine. Screw you too then.
The park is sacred.
All right, fine.
Can't have
We're
your
doing the
Dallas-
podcast.
Can't have your
No, I'm
Dallas
kidding.
Cowboy ass in there.
Oh, come on.
Lowering
Wyoming doesn't
property
even have a
values.
team. I don't think.
Who gives a shit?
Well, you just
If you bring that Dallas Cowboy
you're
cancer
dissing on
up
my
there-
cowboy stuff. Who said I was gonna bring my cowboy stuff?
I said, because I know you.
Dude, I literally don't have. Well, I don't have. It's not that I don't have. Why the hell would I wear any of my
That's what I
cowboy
thought.
memorabilia?
That's
Why would I wear any of my jerseys or T-shirts?
I didn't say you would. I said
probably
that
wear
your
my anime
support for the
stuff.
Dallas Cowboys is more than enough to bar you from Yellowstone National Park.
Oh my gosh! Look, you don't even watch American football, okay?
Yeah, certainly not.
Back off. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, now less than ever.
Right. Yeah,
Honestly,
I'm not gonna
I
be.
actually do enjoy college football though. So I mean,
That's fair, but that
huge
doesn't.
UT fan.
That doesn't mean
That's
you get
more
a.
like
Yeah, me too.
that's more of like a
as well.
city pride thing though. It's more like the city where you have the
Yep.
big university. Of course, you support
Yep.
the team, right?
Exactly.
So,
100%.
like, that's more like
Yeah.
what that is about.
But that- but
Now,
that's
here's the funny
different.
thing. I live like 2 miles from like the Dallas Stadium, like Dallas Cowboy Stadium. But like,
Yeah, and you're
oh,
and you're a
crap, that
hater.
was, I just fucking ID'd myself more or less. Ignore that. No one heard that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I live pretty close to Dallas Stadium. I mean, I won't for a while, pretty soon.
Yeah.
No, screw them.
Yep. Screw it. All right. But no, but my thing with that because I don't think we have anything on that topic. But I'm not gonna be watching the NFL televised this year. But I'll probably watch it on like First Row Sports or Reddit or something.
I really
That way
can't.
they're not getting
I really
any-
can't support any of them. Even like in that, I can't even tacitly support them. You know,
Yeah,
even in
well-
because it's just like you don't deserve my
it's-
time. You don't deserve.
it's
my
only gonna be-
eyes, You don't deserve my love or any nothing. You deserve.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
deserve your rot.
Right. Yeah. It's only gonna be. I'm only gonna watch the Cowboy games. I'm not gonna watch anything else.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys, as far as I know, aren't like ridiculously political. I haven't seen any
No.
super bad stories about them. I'm sure they're doing everything the same things everyone else is, but I mean, they're not being like overtly awful about it.
No, they're not. They're not.
So,
They're not gonna be kneeling during the anthem. That's for damn sure.
well, we would hope, right? We'll find out.
Well, Jerry said that his head. No, that's not gonna happen. Maybe they'll do something before the game starts, but they're not doing anything during the anthem. So
All right, let's move on to our Cuties topic. I think that is
Yep.
going to be your big beef for the week.
yes, yeah, this is
I mean, it's pretty bad. Like, it's probably
Yeah,
the
it's
second
pretty
worst thing to
egregious.
happen in the last, second worst. It's probably the third or fourth worst thing to happen this year. Is that this is a thing and that people support it.
yeah, it's pretty bad. Definitely
Oh, you know what we didn't include?
gross.
This is
What
right in the heels of that California lawmaker getting a bill passed allowing people to have
No,
sex.
I put it in there. I put it in
Oh,
there.
okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I'll put it. We'll talk about that after the Q. We talk about Qs a little bit. I think we did mention Cuties a little bit.
Briefly.
Whenever the poster, pretty briefly, and we were like, oh yeah, this is pretty gross. But But so the movie actually came out for Cuties, and I have not watched it. I have seen clips.
I haven't even seen clips, and I'm honestly afraid to, but I probably will watch the whole thing just so I can properly vomit over the mic for you guys.
Yeah, I'm not going to be watching it. You can tell me, what you think, but I'm not going to be watching it, especially after Ben, because Ben talked about it on his show. If anyone wants to hear a description of it from somebody who watched it, who isn't, a crazy lefty, who's going to just love every part about it just because it's empowering or whatever.
No, because it has young children doing sexual acts.
That too.
That's it's not an addendum. It's not that too. That is the reason.
I guess.
That's the whole reason.
Yeah, Christy Teigen.
I mean, they can lie as much as they freaking want to about it. They like it because small children are doing sexually explicit acts.
Right.
Period. At the end. That is exactly how the left operates. They're pedophiles through and through.
A lot of them are just like
way
Christy Teigen.
Too many of them.
Sorry, I just feel like calling her out because she's a freaking.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there are plenty of people on the left that don't stoop to that level of discussing like savagery. But I mean, there's so many of the higher-ranking members.
Well, the one I'm talking about
Democrats
specifically, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. You keep mentioning a person I don't know anything about. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm saying like that there's so many people in the upper echelon of the leftist society.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell bent on fucking children, and it's like, could you just jump off a bridge?
Yeah, exactly.
You do so much good for the world if you just killed yourself.
Yeah. So, anyways, with all that being said, so basically what Cuties is, it's a film talking about, or not talking about, but it's where a child, depicting a child, like getting, sort of disenfranchised with her family. I guess she's Muslim, and she doesn't like the fact that her dad is leaving to go get, his second wife. So he sort of she rebels and she goes to the internet.
That's adequate though. Like, I don't like that my dad's having like a second wife, so let me go ahead and sexualize the crap out of myself and objectify myself. Like, you took the wrong stance on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so and then she goes to join a dancing or twerk dancing group, which is pretty bad.
There are groups for that. Did you know?
Yeah. Apparently there are, and I'm actually gonna mention something about that at the end of this part. But so hold on, I'm gonna find where it talks about it. Yeah.
Why you got awfully quiet?
Damn it! Yeah, because I was trying to.
This is a podcast.
I know.
You must use your voice.
I was trying to find the list of the things that it showed, because this article isn't exactly.
We don't need to discuss them in our program. You are more than capable of looking at the links. Point is, exceptional amounts of child sexualization. Okay, now Wyatt, continue.
Yeah, so including
No, just leave the list. Don't. Ugh.
Including crotch shots.
Oh, just stop, please.
Also, one of them finding a condom and blowing air into it like a balloon. One of them taking a picture of her crotch and putting it on the internet. One of them trying out being a cam girl. Let's see, what else? Another one trying to take a picture of a boy's in school's penis. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then when they were practicing for their routine, a whole bunch of the girls were grabbing and smacking each other's behinds. Yeah. So it's pretty bad that it has all of that. But according to Ben, the actual moral of the story is to basically just show this is why you don't do this and why it's bad. But you didn't have to take it this far. This is really egregious. There's a line with this stuff, and they just they didn't even tiptoe up to it. They freaking ran across it. It's ridiculous. I don't understand in what in what way this is okay. Like, it's way too far. You go to you're trying to criticize something that's bad, and then you do that by doing the exact thing that's bad. That's not that's not how this works. It's not how this should work. It's really gross. So yeah, it's just really, really disgusting. But that's pretty much what I have to say, man. It's just so gross. Yeah. So I'm not gonna be watching it. That's for damn sure. If you still wanna watch Andrew, you can, but at least so you can completely form your opinion. But I'm not gonna be watching it.
I just don't like to talk about things I don't know actually have any explicit knowledge on. So,
that's fair. That's fair.
I do explicitly understand the theme of the show, though, or theme of the movie, and I'm more than capable of saying at this point in time that it's pretty deeply disturbing.
Yeah.
I don't really have good words for it, actually. I wish I had a better way to describe it, but it is bone-chilling.
Yeah.
This is the crap that we idolize.
Yeah.
Or the French idolize, I should be clear.
Yeah, the French. Yeah. But, and one thing
I'm
that I
not
did want
saying
to
they
clarify...
deserve to be occupied by the Nazis, but,
Well, I'm just going to say there's a reason why why their flag has just become the white surrender flag. There's a reason.
Because they bend over and take it at every available opportunity.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Especially their children, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. But one thing I did want to clarify that I didn't actually say is that Ben wasn't actually defending it. He was just saying he was clarifying that there is a message that is very anti this being a thing, but he also did say that an argument can be made for them taking it too far, which I think he was a little soft on that.
I feel like it's gratifying, it really. I understand that there may be a strong message against it, but you've gone out of your way to display pictures of it. You've gone out of your way to humanize it.
Yeah.
To describe it as some noble goal, rebelling against her family and against evil tradition, yada yada yada. I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of. It seems like the movie is trying to defend the actions of this person, while simultaneously maintaining the publicly acceptable line of it's obviously bad. It's like, I don't know. It kind of feels. It doesn't feel like it's obviously bad. If you're talking about it with such glowing terms. I've read the description for the movie. It's the way it's self-synopsis, I guess you'd say. The way it depicts itself, and it doesn't really seem like it's particularly against its behavior.
Yeah.
Again, off the reserve judgment until I've actually watched it, though.
What's up?
It's off the reserve judgment as far as what the actual message of the film is after I watched it. My issue is is the displaying of these images. It's like, okay, you're just one step short of child pornography.
Yeah.
That is a bad place to be.
Yeah, it is. Oh, one thing that I did want to mention about the film, right now on Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 88% from the critics, and then a 3% audience score.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Oh man, 88% of critics are pedophiles. It's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to a topic that's considerably more palatable.
Yeah. So. Anyways, but last thing for the Cuties is it's really gross, and that's pretty much it. It's just disgusting, and it's terrible. Alright, and then speaking of pedophiles, we have Scott Wiener.
No, that's not the next topic.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's literally right there. No, it's literally
not.
The link is right there.
I don't give a fuck what the link says.
What? Bro, it's literally right there.
I said wrap up the whole topic. We're moving on to topic 6.
Well, yeah, but this is part of the topic.
Then
I have
wrap it up.
/don't trust Wieners.
I told you to wrap it up.
Okay. So...
You didn't do it. Next topic.
No.
I demand.
Alright. No.
There's a story, okay? There's a story. You can. It's about Scott Wiener. It's not great. I'd even say it's disgusting.
Yeah.
There's a link if you're interested. If you're not, all you have to know is it's terrible.
We're going to talk about it. So basically, California lawmakers, they passed a bill that was written by this guy named Scott Wiener.
I think we already did discuss this briefly. They're allowing same-sex relationships with minors, okay? That's enough. That's all you need to know.
No.
I'm done talking about this.
No.
This is thoroughly disgusting. They passed a law allowing you to fuck kids of the same sex. Gay pedophilia officially legal California. There, now you know. It's in the fucking description. Go read the link if you want.
Both anal and oral.
Dude, I told you we're done.
Within 2 years.
I'm thoroughly done with this discussion.
Okay. I
am quite seriously done with it. It's not a fun discussion, okay?
Okay.
I can only sexualize children for so fucking long on this program.
Okay.
Done with it. On to segregation, a much more palatable topic.
Uh-huh.
That was supposed to be a joke, but honestly, it's true.
Yeah.
This is a post-millennial story. So we have a university that was hosting, like, only people of color areas, and like cafes that were specifically for persons of color, and POCs, if you will.
Yep.
And so, of course, social justice, communist, I guess, idiocy coming full circle. Now this one university, I think it was, which university is it? U of M Dearborn.
Yeah.
They have put up a non-person of color cafe, or as you may more commonly know them, whites only.
Yeah.
So we have a space for only white people. I think they went ahead and got rid of it. Because holy crap. Now here's my deal. This is actually not, morally speaking, any worse or better than the, POC only cafes, It's effectively the same thing. It's just funny how we've come full circle. Because before it wasn't explicitly said that there were spaces where people of color weren't allowed. Now it's explicitly said. So congratulations. We've warned you. You were warned probably years ago by people on the right side of the aisle. Segregation's bad. Here we are, full circle. So, as per our usual arrangement, the left has decided that repeating the evils of the last 120, 30 years is more or less what they're looking to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's kill millions in a communist way, or enslave and murder black people, or perhaps just not allow them in spaces. Regardless, the left has decided, hey, all the evil we possibly can, let's do it again.
Yeah. And exterminating the future generation of said population.
Yeah, but I mean, that's pretty standard. That's pretty much par for the course in terms of communist sort of population control and crap.
That's true. You're right. But
the communists in the USSR and
I'd say it's a little bit different,
did the forced abortion stuff all the time.
I mean, I would say that it's a little bit different.
Well, it's different in the sense they've gotten people to like it. It was
Margaret Sanger's mission to exterminate. Well, she said it was her mission to exterminate. It's only different in the sense that they've gotten people to like it. Yeah.
The only difference is that people are willingly doing it because you've convinced them it's a service. Otherwise, it's the exact same thing with the exact same purpose.
Right. Yeah.
Either population control or the extermination of a particular race, depending on how you see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And while we'll link to it, again, there have been heavy criticisms over this, obviously, because it's a whites-only area, which is pretty disgusting. And,
pretty gross.
We warned you. Sorry to say it, we told you so.
Yeah.
But this is sort of what you need to expect coming from the left the next couple of years. That you expect a return of hardcore racism, disguised as anti-racism, pretending it's something it's not. The opposite of the truth. Fighting for social justice, fighting for progress while we put you in internment camps in China.
Yep.
Fighting for progress, fighting for social justice while we segregate you based on race.
Yeah.
So, hey, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. So look forward to the lynching of white people in the future.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I mean that literally. I wish that wasn't. I wish that was not an accurate statement. But I fully expect a black version of the KKK.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. And they did protesters, or should I say rioters? I can't remember where, but they literally took out I think it was at Jeff Bezos' house. They took out a guillotine.
Yeah.
There's
plenty of protesters going around screaming "kill all the white people," and we've heard multiple audio recordings like that. It just hasn't been super organized, but I think expect it to be organized. Yeah.
Yeah, and George Soros, man, turning out that cash, bro.
I'd love to blame George Soros for this, but I think there's a lot more at play here. I think there's some really sinister forces that I'm sure he's funding certain things, but George Soros is the boogeyman. He's in a lot of, and for a good reason, he's got his fingers in a lot of pies. But I mean, the fact is that there is a significantly more interesting stuff going on here, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where Ben Shapiro, I think, talked about it. Michael Knowles maybe talked about it. Tim Pool maybe talking about it. Where you have a difference between ideology and reality. I mean, these people don't actually know what they believe, but it is critical race theory. It's things like that. There is an ideology at work here. It's not just a power play. Like, there are people out here that believe very specific things. It's not about gaining power. It's about exacting their beliefs. Now, for some people, it's about gaining power. For the Democrats, for a number of other individuals within the Democratic Party, for just some people funding these events left and right, I imagine that it's just a matter of gaining power, a way to manipulate people into giving you votes or more influence. But I think for people on the ground, it is really ideological. It's religious. I think they really genuinely believe they're doing good work, that they're actually fighting for something good. I mean, most evil thinks that it's good. I guess that kind of goes back to like a C.S. Lewis view of evil. A truly evil person wouldn't know they were evil.
Yeah.
So exactly. That's the issue here, is that it's demonic evil, and because it's demonic evil, they think they're good. They're very self-assured in that.
Yep.
So, along that topic, we didn't actually. I don't have any links to this. Maybe I'll throw one in the description later. But
yeah.
That lady, Caroline, I can't remember her last name. I watch her YouTube channel regularly. But she was that person who was part of that knitting community, said I went to a Trump rally, and here's what I saw. She got on Fox News, a bunch of stuff. She got a bunch of attention because she was a leftist, but moved over to being a more conservative person, more on the Trump camp, after going to a Trump rally. And she wrote a big, long article about it, got millions of hits. Well, she has her own YouTube channel where she regularly updates stuff, and she works a lot with the Walk Away campaign, or movement. That's run by Brandon Straka. And Brandon, a couple of members of the Walk Away movement were in Dallas, actually. This is where this happened. This is very close to where I live. And as soon as they got out of the car, as soon as they did, someone ID'd Brandon, I guess, as that idiot gay person that supports Trump. And then they kept screaming, he's not on your side, Trump's not on your side. As a matter of fact, he's the first president to enter office openly for gay marriage. He's... And it's the nicest way. The gayest president we've had.
Yeah.
No, he legitimately actually supports the gay rights. Like, he actually isn't a bigot on this topic, especially on this topic where it's so obvious that he's not.
Yeah.
And that's why he supports plenty of gay people. He has plenty of people in his cabinet that are gay. First openly gay ambassador, I believe, ambassador to Germany. The dude doesn't care. He just wants results. He's regularly propped up Brandon Straka and his work. He's had him speak at events. He's not an anti-gay person. It's a really ridiculous claim to make.
Oh, yeah.
But they're screaming stuff like that at them, mobbing them, occasionally throwing things at them. I think they got a traffic cone thrown at them. And then trying to grab their phones and whatnot, and getting somewhat violent. And the police are just standing there and watching it. But she did a video on it where she said, I don't say this lightly, but I'm a deeply spiritual person, and I legitimately think I was being attacked by demons. Like, they did not seem human.
Yeah.
And she made clear it wasn't because of their skin color, because this actually was one of the first Black Lives Matter rally that got violent that actually may have been majority black. Yeah. Yay, Antifa. Anyway.
Right.
But she just said that the way they were acting was, like, genuinely evil and quite frightening. Because they were screaming things that just made no sense.
Right, yeah.
And calling people, like, traitors and saying that, you're a minority, you should be with us. Like, kind of feel like you call him a faggot and a kike and attack him in D.C. Kind of feel like that maybe the people going around screaming, you're a faggot, and we're going to kill you because you're a faggot. Maybe Brandon doesn't want to be with those people. Maybe you're literally a damn Islamic terrorist, as far as I can tell. Like, that's the level of pro-gay that you are, my friend. So, no, I'm going to go out on a limb and say minority or not. Actually, especially because he's a minority, he really shouldn't be with you guys.
Yeah.
Since every one of your victims has just thus far been minority, as far as I can tell. Well, not all of them. I think there have been some people killed that were white, but a lot more of them have been black, than anything else. So.
Right, yeah.
Side note for this whole stuff. But yeah, this is just regarding their critical race theory stuff going on now. The Whites Only Cafe thing I thought was interesting because I think we're officially bringing back segregation. It's a matter of law, because there's always been de jure segregation where people have just decided on their own. They didn't want to hang out with certain groups of people. They wanted to live in certain areas that are majority, one color, or work in certain areas or associate. There's been de jure segregation. People choose to spend their time and their money and live with people of their own race. But then there's de facto, which is like the law actually requires it, and I think we're moving towards that again, and that's pretty scary. I'm not looking forward to the return of Jim Crow.
Yeah, me neither.
Either way it goes. I mean, if it was literal Jim Crow laws, like straight back to we hate black people and let's screw them as hard as they could, I wouldn't like that either. It seems that it's going to be cutting against white people, but that isn't really the big issue. The big issue is how racist it is. It's that racism is bad. That's the big issue. Anyway. All right, I think this next topic is more up your alley. I mean, it's pretty funny. I've been following it closely, but take it away, man.
Yeah. So, so Nancy Pelosi. That's it. No, I'm kidding.
Nancy
Pelosi. Nah, but so she, for those of you who don't know, she got her hair done at a salon in San Francisco, in spite of it being against the law right now in San Francisco.
To do indoor like that sort of activity.
Yep, it was illegal. And
walked in without a mask.
Yep, and then walked in without a mask. And then she had the audacity to claim that it was a setup. And then
the audacity of this bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And then she refused to apologize and said that the salon should apologize to her.
Which is just full-blown insanity.
Oh yeah, it is. You don't get an apology whenever you break the law. And also, last time I checked, ignorance of the law is not an excuse, which is what she tried to claim. Which I don't even believe that she was actually ignorant of it. She knew damn well what she was doing. I really believe that. But if she's really gonna go with this, I didn't know about that. Ignorance, if that really is the case, or if that's what she's claiming, that's not an excuse. You can't use that, like in a court. Ignorance of the law is not. You can't use it. Like I've been pulled over before, and I got a ticket because I did something that was illegal, but I didn't know it was, and the cop literally said, well, ignorance of the law does not excuse you from following it. So yeah, no, that's not how this works. But yeah, no, and she demanded an apology. She wanted them to apologize, which is just really stupid. But yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty bullshit.
Yeah. And then
if she gets to go in and get whatever she wants done, but these people don't get to feed their families.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then
this is sort of where the language regarding being demonic, being evil. It's like where we try to stay away from that when we can. We're talking about political issues when you're discussing matters of policy, but we're not discussing policy. We're discussing the absolute denial of someone's right to feed their fucking family, and your arrogance to go in and demand their labor.
Yep.
And I don't know how much she paid for that. I don't know if she paid for it at all. I assume she did, though. She gets to go in and gets to conduct business like normal, but no one else gets to.
Yeah, it's just that the elites they don't have to follow the rules, man. It's just like
the elites about to find themselves in other.
Who was it? Was it De Blasio or was it Cuomo that went to the gym?
Oh, I can't remember which one it was, but I know both of them broke their quarantine rules.
Yeah, I remember one of them went to the gym and he was like, "Well, I gotta stay in shape."
No, that sounds like De Blasio, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was De Blasio. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it was.
I don't think Cuomo could even stay in shape. I mean, his nipple rings cause way too much flabby.
Yeah.
And then, tits, so you can't avoid it.
Yeah. That type of stuff must run in a family, considering Cuomo was caught nude in his wife's yoga video.
Oh, he totally staged that. I don't buy for a fucking second he was caught nude in anything.
Oh, well, yeah, no, it was staged for sure. I believe that. I still find that funny. Like, really? Oh yeah, while we're talking about Cuomo, this man's. Did you see that like him saying that he could dunk 10 feet.
Yeah, I saw it.
That hoop was not 10 feet.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'll try to find a link. I tried to find it before we started, but I couldn't find anything. If not, then
I mean, Crowder did like a full analysis, but we'll try.
Yeah,
so I mean, that's the point he's trying to get at. Crowder did like a full analysis of this, which you don't really even need.
No, you don't.
To know that he's totally bullshitting you.
Yeah.
6'2", 50 years old. Time to slam dunk.
Yeah, when he barely moves his feet off the ground.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Because he said he's 6'2", and that hoop does not look like it's,
4 feet above him.
Yeah, it does not look like it's almost 4 feet above him. It does not look like that. And then if you look at how little his feet leave the ground, that's complete and utter bullshit. There's not a chance in hell that is 10 feet.
Hey, it's impressive enough he can jump. If that had been the story, I'd have been like, nice, bro.
Yeah, but he
still a prick
for some reason.
Nice.
Yeah, but he still
he maintained about every aspect of his character.
Yeah, and then somebody said that's not you, and then he was like, I'll bet you however much money. How much did he say? Did he say $2,000?
$10,000, something like that.
Yeah, $10,000. And then one other person said that's not 10 feet, and he was like, "Boo."
Yeah, it is.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh, you ain't gonna bet about that, huh?
Yeah, and I really liked how Crowder challenged him. He was like, "Look, if you can come up here, and you can get one, we'll give you 20 tries. And if you do it once, then I'll give you $50,000 or $40,000, I think it was." And he was like, "Yep, you won't be able to do it." But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's.
Yeah, it's totally fake.
Why can't he just shut the fuck up?
Yeah, and the thing was, he was bragging about it. He was bragging about something that nobody cared about. Like, nobody was questioning him about it.
The other thing is, like, you're lying about things that no one gives a shit about. Like, why couldn't you just shut your mouth? What is so difficult about that?
Yeah, especially about stuff that, like, nobody would have cared if you didn't say anything.
Totally irrelevant.
If you hadn't have done the video, nobody would have cared. Nobody would have cared. They would have just been like, oh, whatever. But you made it worse for yourself. It's just like when Elizabeth Warren came out with her DNA results. Like, self-fact check.
Congrats, you played yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, you played yourself. Eventually, whenever we get a better production thing, we'll just be able to insert the meme. But no, we're not there yet. We won't be there for a while. But yeah, no, it's crazy. But yeah, no, it's just funny. Yeah. Just one quick thing that I did want to mention is at least that I did want to ask you about. If the fight between Crowder and Cuomo is actually real, which he's promoting it like it is, what do you think is going to happen?
I think Crowder has sufficient experience. It's going to become a ground match. He's going to choke him out, and that's that.
Yeah. I would say that.
I'm not going to say it's going to be explosive or exciting. I just think it'll be quick and dirty. It'll be done.
Yeah, it could be very quick.
And Crowder's way younger than him too. I feel like he just has, generally speaking, an advantage, like all around.
Oh yeah, he definitely does. And the thing is like it's going to go to the ground, and as soon as it hits the ground, it's going to be over.
Like Chris Cuomo's going to go in, he's going to try and punch him, and Crowder's going to catch it in his inverted sternum and just like.
No. What'll probably happen, and this is somebody who did jiu-jitsu for about 2 years, and I want to go back, but it's more I'm being lazy. That's what's stopping me is laziness. I'm going back. Otherwise, I'd be a blue belt by now.
All right. Yes. Yeah. We get it.
Anyways, what would probably happen? What's probably going to happen is Cuomo's going to like walk towards him or run towards him, and then Crowder's going to do a.
I'm not predicting that. I'm not predicting anything that far. My only prediction is it gets to the ground. I don't know how it gets to the ground. I'm just saying it gets to the ground.
Well,
I think you're doing specifics you couldn't possibly know.
Well, I do.
Cuomo seems skittish.
This is how this
goes. No. Here's I'll tell you. I'll counter your narrative. Cuomo's a fucking coward. On what world does he approach Crowder? None.
Well, he's going to try to punch him.
No, I don't think so.
He's going to have to get within a certain distance to hit him.
He's going to let Crowder do that. I don't think there's any world in which he thinks he's strong enough to make the initiative, and I think Crowder knows that. No, I expect Crowder to make the first move. I expect it to go poorly for Cuomo. I expect it to end up in the ground.
Either way, even if that's the case, if Crowder does make the first move, he's going to do a takedown.
I didn't say he wouldn't. I said it would go. I told you it would go to the ground. That's my predictions. My main prediction is on the ground, and that's where Crowder kicks his ass.
Well, yeah, obviously. No, but I was talking about how he would get him to the ground.
I'm saying
so
it's
either
too
way,
early to speculate
either no matter if
that
Crowder initiates or if Cuomo initiates, he's still going to use a takedown because that's what you use in jiu-jitsu to take it to the ground.
I don't know if you heard me, but that was
starts-
literally the only thing I predicted. So we're agreeing, we're arguing about
Yes.
agreeing. My point
Yes.
is, you're trying to do specifics. I don't think there's any way to know. I do think it definitely
there
goes
is a
to
way
the
to know
ground.
though, because that's what you use in jiu-jitsu.
No, I said that. I
Yes.
don't, the specifics, there's no way to know. I can tell you the general flow of
That
the fight,
part.
but the specifics you wouldn't possibly know. But going to the ground isn't a
This
specific.
part is.
No, that's not a specific because
It is.
no, it's not.
I'm talking about
Jiu-jitsu
specific
no,
technique.
in MMA fighting, any sort of mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu is an extremely common part of it. Going to the ground is not a specific of that fight. Basically, every
No, but
fight
I'm literally talking about a takedown, which is a move. That is an actual.
No, I'm not.
move,
Again, I'm talking.
Andrew.
I'm not going to do specifics. I'm specifically saying.
I know
to be on
you're
the
not,
ground.
but I am. That's what I'm saying. That's my prediction is that it's going to go to the ground via a takedown. That's my prediction.
You know,
And then-
honestly, he's going to try and dunk. He's going to fall flat in his face, and Crowder's just going to get on his back and ragdoll him. You want specifics? There you go. Crowder's going to put a hoop in the cage, and be like, "There you go. That's 10 feet." He's going to fucking fail, and then he's going to ragdoll him. Get him on the ground, just like tear him apart like a hunting dog.
Yeah, but once it gets on the ground, it's going to be over.
Honest to God, the only thing I really want specifically from this fight is Crowder to wear a clown suit. That's the only thing I really want.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, but that's not what I really want from it.
Yeah, he's going to wear an actual gi. He's going to.
What do you
Don't
know?
worry.
I mean, if
I'm sure he will.
Are you sure he'll wear a full gi though? Like, why would he? It's so much clothes to grab onto.
I mean, the thing
Crowder
is,
being a way
Cuomo
smarter
isn't
human-
really a grappler.
Yeah, but Crowder is fully aware. I think when he talks about his jiu-jitsu experience, he says he specifically understands or is versed in the whole grabbing of using clothes as a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's what he said he specifically is largely aware of. I feel
Yeah.
like he just wouldn't give him the opportunity.
I don't know.
I feel like Crowder
I feel
would go
like
out
he's
there
going to wear a
shirtless.
gi. I think he's going to wear a gi.
I have a hard time believing that.
I don't.
Crowder's like legitimate knowledge of what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like there's so
I guess
much.
we'll see.
If Cuomo's even half right about his experience, there's so much you can do with a gi. Like, how about just don't give him the opportunity to kick his ass?
Yeah, but
I feel like Crowder's smarter than that. I think that's a naive. I think that's a really bad call. Maybe you're
don't
right.
know.
Maybe you're right.
You're saying that all of
But
these are
I don't think
that
so.
it's a complete disadvantage, but it not necessarily is.
I
It
don't think it's a
also
complete
provides you
disadvantage.
protection from certain things as well.
From what? Low-level flames?
No. So
He's in a cage with
Cuomo
another
is trying
dude.
to put pressure in any area where a gi is, that's another layer that's protecting your body, and a thick layer too. So
Yeah, that's
the main
a
thing.
really. I think you're overblowing how effective a gi is.
No,
in
I'm
stopping
not.
certain
I'm
things.
not. No. Because the big thing with stuff like that is like elbows and stuff like that. Like, it really does help. It really does help in preventing the pain and discomfort that comes from
Yeah, but
getting.
Cuomo specifically says his expertise is grappling. Now, I don't think he's exactly being honest in his qualifications, but he specifically
definitely
says that's
not
what he
being
knows
honest.
about. Well, why not just take him at face value to some extent and not give him opportunities?
I don't know.
And then Crowder knows what the fuck he's doing, so why would he present him with the opportunity like that to easily control him like that?
It's not as easy as you think.
For
do
Crowder,
that.
it is. I mean, the way he's explained it.
I mean, yeah.
Why
for
wouldn't Crowder? Why
yeah.
wouldn't Crowder work within his experience?
Well, yeah,
If
but
that's what he knows how to do well, why wouldn't he try and avoid it? Because I mean, he obviously understands the capacity of that technique to
yeah.
fuck
But
someone up.
what I'm saying is he knows what he's doing.
Which
Therefore,
is why he wouldn't
knows
wear
how
a
to. No, that's not. No, not necessarily. I'm saying that he would know how Cuomo would go about it, and he could beat him to that. And
I don't
be
think
like,
he
nope.
know anything about Cuomo. Cuomo doesn't fight.
Well, no, but he knows how he would attack because there's really only a certain way that you can go about it when it comes to grabbing the gi and stuff like that. There's only a certain number of things you can do with that. And
Yeah, but
I'm
why
pretty
give
sure
him the options?
Crowder knows that.
Like, because again, I expect it to be a short fight, so and I think Crowder would too. I think he'd want it to be over as soon as possible because giving Cuomo any more opportunities, anything stupid, like you don't need that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just think he's gonna have a gi.
Big
say I'm
doubt.
wrong.
Big doubt, because I just think
That's
Crowder
fine.
is too smart to do that. I think he's fully aware of that you're adding layers
You just
of
don't understand that.
opportunities. You're just adding opportunities, because if Cuomo says he's a grappler, and he may be lying about the number of years he's done it, but if that's what he's saying, he knows what to do. Why test him in that?
Because he doesn't.
And we're also assuming that Crowder is like some extraordinary expert. Maybe while he understands technique, maybe he's not particularly effective at countering it.
I feel like he would be.
You feel like he would be, but let's let Crowder
the thing
decide.
is the testing is really important when it comes to the stuff. And I think he is a purple belt, that's not low. That's the third highest rank.
I'm not saying he's inept. I'm saying that.
So, and
Why
I'm
give
pretty
him
sure
more
that is a
opportunities?
requirement.
I'm saying in Crowder's mind, why would you give Cuomo
Yeah.
any opportunities? Like, any opportunities. Because if you expect it to be a short fight, then your point on pressure is just moot. He's going to get him to the ground as quick as possible, and I feel like Crowder, because I feel like Crowder, again, being Crowder, and, he's the guy that he's done specials where he chokes out his staff to prove that you can choke someone safely.
Yep.
I kind of feel like he's going to choke him. I kind of feel like it's going to be quick and done.
Probably.
And I don't think he needs to present any opportunities in the moment.
You do realize it
anything
also
for
does
Cuomo
give
to want
him extra options too, right? There are certain.
I'm sure it does.
There are certain moves that you can only use if you have a gi.
I'm sure it does. I just don't see Crowder
And
needing.
they're very powerful.
I don't see Crowder needing anything more than a very basic chokehold.
Well, it's not necessarily need. It's an extra thing, an extra thing to have in the arsenal.
Yeah, but that's my thing is if you're giving your opponent extra options, that's great and all, but do you strictly need the option? Like if Crowder's, what I imagine Crowder's strengths are going to be, would he need to play to any style that would require him to wear the gi? I feel like his strengths are just. I don't know. I think he's very good at the very basic, very simple, effective jiu-jitsu. I don't think he really needs to do anything flashy or do anything particularly complicated.
Oh no, I think he's definitely going to do something flashy.
Yes, but anything it'll be wearing a clown suit, I hope.
No, I don't think it's going to be like that. I mean, move-wise, he's going to do something flashy.
I don't know, because again, it is the thing where it's like if you open yourself up for an opportunity to get seriously.
Well, no, just because something is flashy doesn't mean that you're going to open yourself up to an opportunity for your opponent to counter it.
It is, yeah. I mean, if Crowder isn't super practiced in it, and from what I can tell, his experience he's had was in very practical, very self-defense style jiu-jitsu. So why do anything that's out of his comfort zone?
Well, I'm not saying it would be. I'm saying it probably isn't.
I have a hard time believing that. I feel like he does.
Look,
because he's very
Andrew,
pro-gun, so I feel like his jiu-jitsu is going to be really basic self-defense stuff and nothing more.
Again, dude, basic is not purple belt.
Well, I didn't say that. I wasn't saying that his strengths are going to lie within a very specific set of moves. Because he told you exactly what he wanted out of that.
Purple is extremely advanced. Extremely advanced.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm saying that his strengths, Crowder's going to play to his strengths because he's not an idiot. So I'm saying that the way he's described, the way he practices his jiu-jitsu, is that he does it for self-defense. He does it with the idea that he's going to be grappling with someone that's clothed, and he does it with the idea that he does it specifically if he can't use his firearm. Right? That's the idea, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
so, I mean, I imagine he has some very specific things he likes to go to, and I don't see why he wouldn't just put him on the ground and be done with it really quickly. Maybe not even the ground. I mean, again, this is Crowder. Like you said, he could pull anything out of his ass. But I imagine my theory is that Crowder's going to do it quick and dirty because there's no reason not to.
Yeah. Anyways,
I mean, nothing's going to look better for Crowder than a 5-second fight. That tells it all, right?
Yeah, it does.
So I just think this is going to be it's quick and done.
That's definitely possible.
That's why I'm saying I don't think he needs to be flashy. I don't think he needs to wear a gi. I don't think he needs to wear a clown suit, though he should. I don't think any of that is required. I think he's going to go in there with a very specific purpose.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to respond to what Cuomo wants to do. It's not all you in there, so I assume that Cuomo's going to have some strategy he wants to employ as well, but I just don't think Crowder's going to let it happen.
No.
And I have a really hard time believing Cuomo would approach him. I just feel like he's a coward. I could be wrong, but I feel like he's a coward.
I mean, he did approach that one guy and tell him that he was going to push him down the stairs.
Yeah, and then he waited to make any moves until someone had already grabbed him and held him back. And then he started acting all crazy. It's like, okay, so until you know someone's holding you, you won't even remotely pretend like you're... Anyway.
That's true.
So he waited until he basically had backup to say anything crazy. I just feel like the dude's a coward.
I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. Anyways.
Fredo was like the N-word to your people. Like this guy.
That's a throwback.
This guy is such an idiot. Anyway, we've been debating Crowder's fight, which may or may not happen.
Yeah.
My main disagreement with you is how quick it's going to happen. I think it's going to be ridiculously quick. Again, because he's not going to be flashy. Cuomo is not going to be ready for Crowder's skill level.
Yeah.
And I feel like Crowder's going to play to his strengths, and I think you could agree to this. At the very least, really, what's there to do once you get someone on the ground? There's some pretty simple shit you can do if someone's not ready for it.
If someone's not ready,
You know?
Yeah.
And Cuomo, I just feel like he's not the type to do research either.
Yeah. Probably not.
I mean, maybe his cowardice kicks in and decides he needs to do as much research as possible, but...
Maybe.
Or
he's
strategy.
terrified for his life.
But... maybe not cowardice. I mean, I'll be generous. Say maybe he decides he comes to the realization that Crowder's not an idiot, or bluffing, and then he needs to do some research. But I just feel like Crowder's gonna fuck him up. Although I could probably do some more research into what Crowder actually does as far as what his specific style or technique that he likes to employ. I could do more research into how Crowder likes to fight and probably get a better idea.
Maybe.
But from what I've heard over the years, the way he talks about when he does martial arts, he seems to be a very self-defense, sort of get it done kind of oriented guy, which is what I think a lot of people are. Yeah. Although some people, I think Jimmy and a couple of people also do it that we know, that just do it for fun. They're willing to learn.
Well, that's not why Jimmy does it. Jimmy does it so he can teach. When he gets to a certain belt.
Well, that's great, but I mean, he's trying specifically to learn a lot of it. He does it because he enjoys it.
Yes, yeah. And for self-defense purposes.
That's everyone right. Yeah. But I mean, Jimmy seems to be more...
The priorities for him are self-defense, teaching, and then to have fun. Anyways, but yeah.
Are we doing Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah, we're done with Nancy Pelosi. But yeah, no, my predictions are that he's gonna wear a gi, he's gonna use a takedown to bring it to the ground, and then he's gonna do at least one quote-unquote flashy move. Because when I say flashy move, I mean a very advanced move.
That's
like very, very
advanced. Well, if you're saying advanced, I mean flashy in the sense that he's going to do something that makes Cuomo look ridiculous. I don't know about advanced. I mean, when I say flashy, I mean he's going to do something to embarrass Cuomo. Something impressive that embarrasses him. Now, you're saying advanced. He may do many advanced moves, but I don't know if it's going to be flashy. You know, I don't know if it's going to be show-offy. You know?
In my opinion, it's going to be flashy. Whenever somebody who is in jiu-jitsu or like martial arts and stuff, and they're going to watch the fight, I think that they're going to be like, oh wow, he's really going all out. He's being really flashy. And I mean it in that sense, from a martial arts perspective.
I mean a showmanship perspective, because this is Crowder.
Yeah.
When I say flashy, I mean like Crowder brand flashy.
Right.
Like wears a vagina while he talks to Justin Trudeau flashy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, new prediction. He comes out wearing the vagina suit.
That's not going to happen.
That would be so good.
I would love it. But that's not going to happen. They probably don't even have that costume anymore. Maybe they do.
Can he dress as Fredo?
Wait, what?
Can he dress as Fredo?
Oh man, that would be great. Let's
There's
do
so
it.
many angles for this. I'm just excited to see. Because if he does decide to wear something, I really would prefer some sort of costume.
Yeah. I really hope this fight actually does happen, because it's going to be hilarious. I'm going to laugh so hard.
I can't wait to superimpose like CNN over Chris Cuomo and like Donald Trump's face over Crowder.
Yes.
You won't even be that far from the truth.
Oh yeah, dude. Yes, we're going to be the first ones to make a meme out of that, and I'll probably tag Crowder.
It'll be amazing.
What's up?
Crowder specifically recreates like Trump's like assault on McMahon.
Yes, on Vince McMahon. Oh
yes,
yeah, that'd be great.
Specifically recreates everything he did on that, just on Cuomo.
Yeah, there we go. No. What he should do that for? He should do it for as a training montage video to show like on the Daily Show leading up to it. That's how he should do it.
That'd be fine. I mean, a number of things would be fine. He can come out strapped to the dragon.
I guess that would be more realistic for him to do. Would it to be like a Crowder bit type of thing?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what the best costume against Cuomo is. What would be the funniest costume?
I don't know.
Okay, first of all, he should have a BLM shirt on. Starter. just to make Cuomo feel awkward.
Yeah.
He should have a protest on peaceful.
No, hold on. No, he should have a Fredo t-shirt on.
Oh, can you just have like a T-shirt with a picture of the kid with the ramen? That's right there, Mr. Cuomo.
Yeah.
I'd pay money for that shirt. I'd pay so much money
dude.
for that shirt.
I would too. Yeah. That's
And couldn't you just say you're gonna get your ass kicked, Mr. Cuomo? Yes, make a T-shirt. Someone make a T-shirt for us.
Please do so.
All right. Okay, we have so many more topics to cover. I'm
we
level with you. You added way too much crap. We're already like a.
Well, no. We're gonna be. We'll breeze through most of this other stuff pretty quickly because most of the stuff we only have like one article.
These next
gonna be brief.
Couple are gonna be pretty quick. All right, Disney.
Yeah.
This is the Disney stuff. Back to Disney being evil. In the credits of Mulan, they thank the government of the city running the concentration camps.
Yep.
Because they filmed in a province where concentration camps are being run.
Yep.
So
for
good job, Disney.
The Muslims and Uyghurs.
Well, I think they're Uyghurs.
Yeah.
It's not, and they're the same thing.
Well, it says and other Muslims.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, like generally speaking, it's the Uyghur Muslims is like the main category.
Mm-hmm. And this is confirmed by the State Department.
Next story is going to be on the White House siege. You probably heard of this. I don't know how legitimate it is, but apparently they're planning to siege the White House. I think before the election. There's supposed to be like a however many. I got the article right here, but it's supposed to be a certain number of days before the election. They're going to siege the White House. So
yeah, on September 17th, which is actually like less than a week from now.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Donald Trump should come out dressed as George Washington with a musket and just start shooting all of them. Be like, I put down the riot. I put down the insurrections like George Washington. I'm so presidential. I'm so presidential. Look at me using the militia. Yep. There were armed uprisings under George Washington that he put down. So that'd be great.
Oh yeah, that would be great. And then afterwards, he should go.
And by the way,
chop down a cherry tree.
Remember when Occupy Wall Street wasn't supposed to be a big deal? Occupy, they're just shitting in tents and acting like idiots. They'll never do anything. Same people that organized Occupy Wall Street organizing a siege on the White House.
Yeah.
So yes, this ideology has escalated straight to violence. I mean, it didn't even take long. So that's interesting. We have a link to that if you'd like to read it from redstate.com. Moving on to some Biden-Harris stuff. Biden is being really dodgy regarding questions on teleprompters because I don't think he wants to admit he uses them, or his campaign at least doesn't want to.
His campaign. So this was on Fox News. They had a Biden campaign spokesperson on, and the guy asked him,
the article's Joe Biden. It's the first Daily Wire link under that tab.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, in the video, the guy from Fox asks him if Biden uses a teleprompter during live interviews, and the guy legitimately would not answer the question. He got all like triggered and was like, "See, that's the narrative that the president's campaign are spinning, blah blah blah." He literally said almost the exact same thing, but rephrased it like at least 3 different times when he asked him repeatedly.
But this is the campaign that handed out questions to people that were doing the Q&A with Biden.
Yeah.
So is he on teleprompter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, because that was kind of minor. Kamala Harris says she's proud of Jacob Blake. Oh, isn't that cute?
Wait, now, which part was she proud of? The rape?
The rape, or the assault? The kidnapping, attempted kidnapping, the assault. I think didn't he assault children? Isn't that one of his charges? Assaulting minors.
I'm not sure.
I think it was like sexual. I think there was some. I want to say it was assaulting minors. I don't think it was sexual though. Anyway. Was it going for a knife?
I think the sexual assault was of his
was it saying he had a knife on him? Yeah, but I mean, he has other charges specifically related to the kids.
I think it was domestic abuse, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean,
that might have been what
child
it is.
abuse of some sort. I mean, he violently did something to the kids, if I can recall rightly.
Something like that.
I don't know what part she's proud of, but there was the anti-Semitism of his father. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then we have a little TV interview for you, linked in there. Joe Biden is caught off guard. He's not reading from the teleprompter, and it really fucks him up.
Yeah. Well, no. That's not what it was. It was the. He said, "Scroll up," and then he says, the top line message is, which you're not supposed to read. Yeah.
That's what that's what I meant to say. I meant he was not reading the teleprompter right. I'm sorry. I probably phrased that wrong. But
that's fine.
He was caught not adhering to the teleprompter, which is why we think he has a teleprompter.
Yep.
Along with the fact that he scripts questions.
Go back to the top.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, and then we have some other stuff. What is this last one here? It looks like Kamala Harris stuff. That's great.
Oh, yeah. So Kamala, she apparently endorsed Scott Wiener.
Good stuff.
A while ago.
So she's a pedophile too. Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if she is. She's at the very least she's a slave owner. But
Yep.
So yeah, that kind of just wraps up the weekly sort of typical bullshit.
Yeah. The rest of the stuff we'll probably burn through really quickly. Also EA was being stupid.
The topic we won't, but this one real quick. Let's go ahead. That's the number 12 we probably won't, but this one we can. EA is being retarded.
Yeah.
But not in a way that I would say is indefensible. I mean, like, I think you just tried to explain it to me, and I think you did a good job.
Yeah.
It's not that Colin Kaepernick shouldn't be a free agent. It's that you don't need to advertise the fact that a guy that is a shitty quarterback is in your game. You also don't need to give him a false rating.
Yeah. So my biggest. So what happened was EA Sports added Colin Kaepernick back to the free agency inside of Madden 21, which is their newest Madden, as a free agent. And they gave him a rating of 81 overall, which is better than Cam Newton, who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Patriots.
So I'm calling bullshit on that.
And who is a much better quarterback than Colin Kaepernick has ever been. Like, he's 20 times better than Colin Kaepernick ever was. If you look at stats, quarterback rating, all that stuff, Cam is better. And Cam is rated a 77. And Colin is an 81. It's ridiculous.
I don't think there was a single point in his career he was that good. Let's put it that way.
No, not even at the beginning, because he got lucky because they had an actual okay team around him, and it wasn't him, and that's why he had, I think it was 2 mediocre seasons after that, I believe, and then he got benched for Blaine Gabbert.
Yep.
Yeah. As he should have been, because Blaine Gabbert is a better quarterback than he is. Yeah, and then, but anyways, I don't have a problem with the fact that they added him back into the game as a free agent, because he is technically a free agent who is quote unquote by the league's rules he's still available for teams to grab. So I think it's fine that he's a free agent, but the rating is what I really have an issue with. And then.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's not an 81. Yeah. And then the last thing that I was really annoyed with is that they made it a big deal.
Yeah.
That's all.
But anyway,
which it shouldn't have been.
Supposed to be short. Come on. We'll give it more time.
All right.
Moving on to the, I think, dramatically more important story here.
For sure.
Probably the most important. I'd say one of the most important in recent politics, because it's really interesting. So we have Candace Owens versus Cardi B. They would on Instagram. They sent messages back. On Twitter, they sent
it was back. Twitter.
No. It was both.
What?
They both recorded 8-minute videos on Instagram. I watched them both. Don't tell me what I didn't see why. Don't deny my lived experience, you bigot.
Okay.
Anyway, my truth.
White privilege.
My truth. Wyatt, my truth.
Yeah, your truth.
Believe women.
Not the truth.
Anyway, so Cardi B versus Candace Owens. There's some videos back. I think there's like a total of 3 or 4 videos back and forth. One of them in which Cardi B calls Donald Trump literally plankton from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Which is funny because he strikes me more as Mr. Krabs. But anyway.
Yeah.
There's some back and forth videos, and then there's some Twitter stuff going on. The videos are way more interesting because they're both like 8 minutes long, so there's a lot more content in the videos.
Yeah.
But the Twitter stuff is linked. I went ahead and linked the first 2 videos along with the instigating thing. Because the reason this started is because Candace Owens did a Sunday special with Ben Shapiro, which is an interview show he runs.
They talked about Cardi.
Well, she brought it up, kind of.
Yeah.
And she said she agreed with his assessment, and she kind of just said that the reason Cardi B gets the attention she does, politically speaking, is because Democrats think black people are stupid, and that they're going to see her and that they're going to vote their way simply because Cardi B supports them.
Yep.
And that Cardi B is clearly stupid because that's what I mean. She has influence.
Yep.
But specifically, Cardi B is stupid because she's as Kenneth says, illiterate. She says things like, "I want free healthcare and free school, but I want my lower taxes."
Yeah.
You might just maybe be an idiot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of problematic. It's interesting. But the reason I thought it was interesting is because you're seeing really a clash of ideals. do we hold up? I don't know. Of course, I think we discussed WAP already, I believe, on the program. But
yeah,
do we promote Cardi B in the black community? Sorry, does the black community, because I'm not part of the black community, but
yeah.
the black community, they're going to hold Cardi B or Candace Owens in higher esteem. And I think it's obvious Candace Owens is a much more respectable human being.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But, which way is the black community going to go? And I think it's interesting this is getting the attention that it is. And I think it's because people are actually having to make a choice. There's some actual split in the black community where they're looking at this, they're going, Candace is actually an upstanding human being.
Yeah.
And I think they're starting to seriously consider some of the political issues in a way they may not have been doing so before. They may have just been voting 95% Democrat, not thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think now they're maybe a bit more engaged as a community, which is good. So it's interesting because I think there's it's showing two different versions of success, in my opinion. The current black community's versions of success, which is be a rap star and be a rapist, jackass, like a horribly morally loose person.
Yeah.
Or be an upstanding American version of success. Be a loving wife, accomplished political commentator,
and soon to be mother.
Soon to be mother. I mean.
Oh, and one comment that I do have about this: the mother who waited till marriage, and then the one who didn't, because Cardi B has a kid too, with a rapper named Offset, I believe. I think.
Yeah, but the more interesting thing, I'm just saying that it's that.
Yeah.
Candace
No, I just think it's
of,
funny because they're both mothers.
Most Americans.
But Cardi B doesn't act like a mother.
I don't think of her as one because she doesn't. I've never really heard her talk about her kids all that often.
Well, the kid is like a baby, baby.
Well, that would be even more reason to talk about it, though, wouldn't it?
I mean, I guess, but
that
she hasn't
build a
put out any music
or
she hasn't really had any public statements other than doing interviews with politicians. So, and she hasn't.
That's
really
what like when you get her to sit down and talk about
either.
Her ideas for politics, her ideas for the future of this country, she doesn't mention her kid.
Well,
it's like, are you really thinking? Are you really thinking as a mother would? As someone that we would expect a mother to engage in politics in the way that I am trying to build a better world for my child. She's like, how about that free healthcare and free college and stuff and lower my taxes? And it's like, you just seem like a shill.
Yeah.
And you don't really, you know what I mean? You don't seem like a concerned individual with like real, you don't seem real.
Yeah.
And Candace seems real because she'll talk about it. She'll talk about, having a kid. Just like, she said, I'm excited but also terrified,
Yeah.
I mean, she sits there and she'll tell you exactly what she thinks about the black community, how she wants to raise her kid.
Yep.
Tells you, she's commenting on, parenting the black community is one of the things she comments on regularly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
As a black woman, I want black women in homes. She's very clear about that. That's her stance on it, and I'm quoting her.
Yeah.
But she's super clear about this. And I think
she is.
Family life is something she's way more oriented towards than Cardi B in terms of especially focus.
For sure.
And so I think that Candace is, and not to undermine Cardi B's motherhood, because I mean, your mom, and you biologically had a kid, it's hard to get around that.
Yeah.
As far as acting the best interest of her child, I can't see Cardi B even being remotely considered on the same plane as Candace.
Yeah.
Candace doing actual activism, like legitimate, grassroots, on the ground, trying to get people to, not necessarily always on the ground, but she does actually go around and talk quite a bit.
Yeah.
So she's actually out there in the world attempting to make her community specifically a better place for her kid to be raised.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And she does have her own podcast as well, where she has some really good interviews with few folks.
Yeah, she has her, of course, the Candace show. She has multiple other things she's a part of, but she's on PragerU, obviously, for the Candace show, which is also with Turning Point a lot for various events and whatnot. So I mean, she's outreaching. She's really doing a lot of work.
Yeah, very, very much
attempting to shift the opinion of the black community to have them politically align differently, so as to maybe influence some policies in the inner cities, right? She wants more police presence, I imagine. She's been pretty clear about that. Lower crime, less welfare, more job opportunities. I mean, she's pretty clear about it. I think she's very much in the Larry Elder sphere of things. I think I'm more. I mean, I've seen more of Larry Elder's content than Candace Owens. I watched a lot of her interviews, but again, with interviews, you're getting a lot more of the other person. You're not getting as much of Candace.
Yeah.
Whereas I've watched a lot of standalone content with Larry Elder or interviews of Larry Elder. And But she says she likes Larry Elder a lot, so I assume she's probably in that line of thinking regarding what needs to be done in the black community. So my point is that she's doing what I would consider legitimate activism, whereas Cardi's doing pandering.
Oh yeah,
there's a difference.
And doing it badly,
very badly. But she crushes her, man. She crushes her hard, and in the videos especially. It's really brutal.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I went ahead and dropped the link for it on the videos.
Oh man, bro. And then that one of the meme that she put out, that shit was hilarious.
Candace is quite a monster politically. I mean, it's it was not smart to attack her.
She's savage. She's more savage than Wendy's is, man.
Wendy's nuts hit your mouth. I'm sorry, Hattie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's pretty quick-witted. And extremely, I'd say, flexible. Mentally speaking, she just kicks ass, and I don't really care what you say to her. She's going to snap back with a considerably hard-hitting, retort.
Yeah.
So she's been very good about that.
Yeah, there was this one thing that I really liked that I saw that she was on. It was a BET thing where they had a whole bunch of black quote-unquote activists on, and I was actually surprised that they had Candace on there, but they did. They had her on there, and then they had somebody else. I think it was for like one of the representatives from Blacks for Trump, or something like that. That's aligned with Diamond and Silk, and is like in the same roadhouse as them as far
Brandon Tatum, ABL.
No, it was another woman.
Shit. I know some black women running for Congress.
I think it was Catherine something. No. It's not. It's not someone who's running for Congress.
That's what I mean. I don't know a lot of the non-con because I know some women running for Congress right now. Anyway, not to speculate. Point is, you were saying.
Yeah. So they had her on like a thing for how we should tackle these problems and stuff. Dude, she was so fiery, and of course T.I. was there, Killer Mike was there. And then like some other random dude who didn't know what the hell he was talking about either. And dude, it was so funny because T.I. kept on getting so pissed off. He had his arms crossed. He's just like, and then he like has a one-liner that gets a whole bunch of people in the crowd going, and then Candace just fires back at him. It's so great. It was so great.
Candace is ridiculously sharp-witted. It's not an intelligent move. She's quick-witted, sharp-witted, and again, she's mentally flexible. So whatever you throw at her, she's going to hit back with something that's apt and extremely hard-hitting.
Yeah, very much so.
Not a joke. Not a person to mess with lightly.
Yeah.
All right, so here let's go on to this. Trump announced new possible Supreme Court picks. So he's went ahead and released a list. I think there was a couple dozen people on there.
I think it was 20 to 25 picks.
Yeah, something like that. But specifically, we have Tim Cotton, Ted Cruz, and I want to say Senator Hawley. I think could be wrong.
Yeah, I think he's a senator.
Yeah. I mean, the third one I didn't know as much about as Tim Cotton and Ted Cruz.
Yeah. But I think.
Was it Tom Cotton? Crap.
What?
Oh shit.
What'd you do?
I can't remember if it's Tim or Tom Cotton.
Tom.
That's what I thought. I don't know why I had Tim in my head. Anyway.
I think you're thinking of Tim Scott.
Yeah, I must be.
But yeah, no. I didn't go through the whole list, but those three, they really stick out to me, and I'm just like, yeah,
well, there's been news stories about those three, so I didn't really look at the list. I just know these people are, because I've seen the stories about them, and
and these were like 25 more, because I guess he had another list.
I don't know how I feel about Cruz though.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd rather him be president than Supreme Court guy.
I don't know, man.
I'm not saying we don't need the help on the Supreme Court. I'm not saying we don't need the help.
Well, no. I'm just saying that he might be one of the best. If he were appointed,
disagree. He would be one of the best.
He would literally be the best or one of the best.
I'd say one. I'd say one of, because I think that Clarence Thomas is phenomenal. There's some. He's going up against some hard hitters. That are really hard to beat. I think he personally would be phenomenal. He's clerked for the Supreme Court. He's argued in front of the Supreme Court. He's in the Senate right now. He's on a presidential campaign. Yeah,
he's on the Judicial Committee or whatever.
The dude's on top of it. He knows his shit. He's really been involved with the Supreme Court throughout his career. Yeah. I think he'd be phenomenal. On the other hand, other phenomenal people on the list, I'd love to see Ted Cruz as president, though. He's one of the people on the. He's the only person on the list, really, that I'm like, no, but I really want to see him as president.
Yeah,
so I'd be happy with a number of people on the list. I think Amy Barrett was one of the talks initially when he was picking Kavanaugh, and I would love to see her on there because she was
me too.
Super.
She's awesome. Yeah.
Like I think she just rips Roe v. Wade like a new one when she talked about it.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Cruz on there, of course. That'd be great. But I think, for me personally, I'd like to see him run for president again. I think after Trump, actually, because once people soften to that, I think Cruz would be a good time for Cruz to come in and be like, hey, I'm not as bombastic, but I'm going to be more or less in the same line, and probably just a bit more conservative on certain issues.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I found the video that I was talking about, and I put it in the description with Candace just snapping back at T.I. and just destroying him. But so anyone who wants to watch that, y'all can. So it's in there.
All right, but that's Trump's picks. Really interesting. We're definitely keeping an eye on that. Now, what I would like to see is Joe Biden release a list of his own like this, because this is an existing list Trump has had.
Yeah.
People he would nominate to the Supreme Court, or he's considering if there was an opening. I think Biden needs to do the same. Tell us who you're going to nominate, because this is where Trump's being super clever. He's making the Supreme Court an issue in this election where it wouldn't have been previously, and that drives people to the right. That drives a lot of Republican turnout.
Yep.
So that was smart. All right, I got Democrats blocking the new COVID bill. I kind of thought it was more of a nothing burger. I didn't expect anything different, but basically, Republicans had slimmed down the initial bill that was being discussed to $300 billion. Democrats rejected it.
Yep. Because
they're assholes. I don't really know what else to say. The story's there if you'd like to read it. It's ridiculous. It's just partisan bullshit. Now, my general spin, and here's my actual feeling, though. I like that they blocked it, because I don't think any more government spending necessary.
No, I'm actually okay with that.
Like, I'm actually not mad they blocked it. I just know they didn't do it for good reason.
No, they definitely did. They just did it because they didn't want to help.
They didn't go, government spending's running rampant. We, the libertarians, must take control of the situation. No, they just said,
no. It's just because it would hurt them. And
it's because it would look too good for Republicans,
Yep, that's the only reason why.
Trump jokes about voting twice. I think that was last week, but people got all butthurt about it, and it's like...
Yeah, they did.
I looked at the clip, it feels like he's joking. I don't know how I'm just saying that when you look at the clip, how do you construe it otherwise?
You
kind of a difficult pitch.
It's obviously a joke. He's just like...
But the funny thing about this is not even the joke itself. The funny thing about this is the media said, mail-in voting's bad now.
Yeah.
It's funny how, like, you had some people in the media do, like, a complete 180 because they thought about it for, like, 5 seconds and realized how bad of an idea mail-in voting was.
Yeah. Also, can I just say, I love Kayleigh McEnany. She's awesome.
You can.
Yeah, she's awesome. I want her to run for Congress or something. Or just some office, because I want to see more of her.
Honestly, not sure if I'd like that. I think she should just be the press secretary for the next Republican president, because she's so good at it.
Maybe. But I want to see her do something beyond that.
I want to see her moderate a debate.
Yes, please. Give me this. I need this. She's so awesome. She's so fiery.
I want to see her interrupt the Democrat candidate and be like, "Go ahead, Trump, talk as long as you want."
Yep.
Just flip the tables on him super hard. I reclaim my time, yes. Dude, that is going to be the ultimate Trump tactic, because every time Biden interrupts, goes, I reclaim my time.
Yes.
That would be the perfect, like, crescendo to his campaign.
Oh yeah, man, for sure.
I would be thrilled with something like that from a debate.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I just wanna say, Kayleigh McEnany, she's great.
Doing an excellent job.
Yeah, no, fantastic.
All right, we have All Buildings Matter. I don't know much about this. This seems to be a 9/11 thing, which is apt for today being 9/11.
So obviously today's the anniversary. So a whole bunch of leftists started a hashtag called All Buildings Matter on Twitter, mocking the All Lives Matter thing. And it went viral.
Is it bad that I agree with that? That I agree that all private property matters?
I mean, no.
Is it bad that their attempt to mock us is actually an accurate statement? The whole "we don't burn down buildings" is actually a good idea. Like, let's just co-opt it. Just co-opt it and get behind them.
Yeah.
Because they do. Let's actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and send a reporter into Kenosha, take some pictures, and then hashtag it. All buildings matter.
Yeah.
You want to play this fucking game? You think you can mock us? Bitch, you can't meme.
Yeah, you can't.
This is the party that ran Hillary Clinton. You don't know what the fuck humor is.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah, it's bad. And here are some of the tweets.
Regardless, it is kind of funny, though. Like, ironically funny. Because that is actually just something that I think Republicans would tweet out. Like, I think Republicans would hashtag that to make fun of Black Lives Matter.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like a property rights, like, argument. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like a property rights
Excuse me.
like campaign.
Yeah. Yeah, so some of the tweets were the entire Miracle Whip posse being all solemn and somber today, tweeting hashtag never forget. Remember the next time you feel like telling black people to forget about or get over slavery, lynching, brutalization, dehumanization, or oppression. It's just like, dude, none of that shit has happened in this lifetime.
No, that isn't the
or in my lifetime.
That's not the problem. Because even after 9/11...
That's one of the problems that I have with it.
Not the problem. It's actually the worst argument you could have made.
Okay,
because 100 years,
it's still a fine argument.
No, it's not. I'll tell you. Yeah, let me fucking finish. Let me goddamn let me fucking finish.
I love you, Andrew.
No, you don't. Now,
yeah, I do.
The reason why your argument's utter horseshit is because 100 years from now, if we stop celebrating the heroes of 9/11, I'm gonna be pissed. We're 100 years out from World War I, and we still talk about it.
Yeah.
It's not that it didn't happen in their lifetime. Is not the reason. The reason that we're not talking about slavery, the reason we don't need to, and we do talk about slavery. Actually, we have this little thing called Black History Month. But
yeah, that's true.
The reason this whole get over it thing is annoying from the left is because if you think us saying get over it is insulting, do not tell us to get over the fact that we had 3,000 people killed because Muslim terrorists who are still alive today, who are currently active, decided they wanted to kill 3,000 of us. You tell us to get over 9/11. That was something that happened 20 fucking years ago, and the people that did it are still alive today. Many of them that were involved in the conspiracy are alive today. It is a current fucking issue. No, we're not forgetting it.
No.
Yeah. Secondly,
that's correct.
Secondly, we would never forget it. You know why? 3,000 Americans died as a result of an evil terrorist ideology. Okay?
Yeah.
The people that were enslaved were not enslaved to an ideology. They were enslaved to what is effectively a corrupt version of capitalism that specifically thrives on the exploitation of laborers.
Yep.
Okay?
Just like Kamala Harris.
Exactly. So, when you talk about the two events, one of them is an attack on our nation. The other is just as a sin we have committed as a nation. We're not going to forget slavery.
They're different.
We're not going to get over slavery. We are telling you that the effects of slavery are non-existent in the current society. Yeah. You're not seeing them. You're seeing the effects of the welfare state and bad policing. That's what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You're seeing the effects of the breakdown of the black family. You're seeing the effects of high crime in these areas. You're seeing the effects of no investment because of high crime. You are not seeing the effects of slavery in this country right now.
No.
We have adequately repaired ourselves. We have adequately, I think in many ways, adequately transformed our society to where that is not an issue affecting black Americans today. There are people alive right now who lost family members, fathers, brothers, mothers, sisters, daughters, sons, that are dead right now, people alive who remember this event, who lost people now. This is not, it's not an issue of forgetting it, it's not. It's an interesting way to mock. I get it. Mocking 9/11 is fun and all, right?
Yeah.
It's great and all. I'll make 9/11 jokes all day. I made one earlier this podcast, but the reason we're doing that right now, the reason why this All Buildings Matter hashtag is annoying and really kind of stupid, is because we're not telling you to forget slavery. We're not telling you to just to get over it. That isn't the argument. The argument is it was terrible. We're sorry we did it. You're using it as an excuse. It's illegitimate and really quite deceptive.
Yeah.
The point is your argument makes no sense. We're not making an argument. We're not making an argument about the evils of 9/11. We're just recognizing that it happened. That's all we're fucking doing. So, don't belittle 9/11. Don't belittle our insistence on never... This is the never forget thing. You realize that never forget has absolutely nothing to do... Like the hashtag, the idea, the concept of not forgetting 9/11 has literally nothing to do with the same way that you guys consistently harp about slavery. We're not saying never forget that we were victimized. We're saying never forget the mistakes we made that allowed this shit to happen. Exactly. Never forget what we did wrong. Never forget what we had to sacrifice because we didn't take the necessary steps.
Exactly, yep.
So, I'm sorry, this is a never forget thing. It's not applicable to slavery. It's not something we'd say about slavery. Because slavery isn't about mistakes we did or didn't make that allowed certain atrocities to occur. Slavery is about an explicit evil we committed that was extraordinarily awful, that we didn't miss a few things, we didn't have some stuff wrongs, we just outright committed an act of extraordinary evil against a group of people.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing as a lack of vigilance, it's not the same thing as bad foreign policy, it's not the same thing as bad information from intelligence agencies,
Yep, and becoming complacent.
Exactly. It's not the same thing as having your country attacked by a foreign entity and you allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
It's slavery is about the evils that we committed. So when you're mocking the hashtag, never forget, you're just mocking people who are trying to say, listen, we made some mistakes, clearly. Do not forget the mistakes we made. Don't forget the sacrifices we had to make as a result of our mistakes.
Yeah,
and don't repeat the errors.
Exactly. That led to it. Yep.
So, it's not an applicable comparison. I don't get it. Like,
it's not.
My other question is, if you think that we believe 9/11 is as bad as slavery, why are you mocking us for remembering it?
Yeah.
Like, if you think that Americans think 9/11 was as bad as slavery, why are you mocking us?
Yeah.
Like, how callous do you have to be to go, my issue is just that much more important than yours? Doesn't matter how you feel. I thought feelings are everything, weren't they? According to the left?
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like your argument. Why it's because their argument was because your argument was actually the exact thing they were arguing against.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you're kind of making their point with the whole like, what happened outside of our lifetime? No, it's not. I don't care what point it happened. There are lessons you can learn from it. That's why we don't forget it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think slavery is any different. And if people saying that Republicans or right wingers are trying to tell black people to get over slavery or just forget about it, that's not what we're saying. Actually, don't forget. Yeah. Please do your best to remember what happened when the Democrats started the KKK, when the Democrats fought against the ending of slavery, when the Republicans freed you. Please remember it. Remember it in detail, and then you tell me that the Democrats are your fucking friends.
Yeah, and then remember the fact that
Republicans want black people to forget slavery. Oh no, far from. Yeah, it's our best. I mean, honestly, talk about getting the black vote. There's nothing better as far as propaganda goes. I mean, it is propaganda. I mean, it's propaganda in the right direction, but it doesn't make it any other. It's the best piece of sloganeering we could possibly do. Democrats started the KKK. Democrats the party of slavery. Republicans free the slaves.
And they also, a large majority of the Democrats voted against the Civil Rights Act.
Lyndon Baines Johnson voted against it multiple times.
Yeah.
Remember the guy that signed it ultimately? But he voted against multiple similar measures.
Yeah.
No, don't forget slavery. Please remember very clearly what this country did to you and who did it.
Exactly.
Republicans would like nothing more than the black community to remember with crystal clear clarity what exactly was going on.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's my 2 cents on the all buildings matter. It's my two kind of conflicting things. It's extremely insulting and stupid, and that was my reasons why.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because it's a hashtag I agree with.
Yeah.
Private property
and speaking of
does matter.
Of all building lives matter, did they matter when BLM and Antifa were burning them down?
Well, that's what I said earlier. I mean, the private property aspect of that, where I could totally feel. I think I will co-opt the hashtag actually, because they do actually. Yes, all private property does matter. Now, not all buildings are private property, but the vast majority are.
Yeah. And somebody actually did tweet this out. So Buzz Patterson, I guess he's running for Congress in Cali. He said, if all buildings matter, does that include the thousands that BLM has looted and burned down? You anti-American people posting that hashtag?
That's what we mean when we say the left can't meme. You try to mock the right, and all you do is end up showing how stupid you are.
Yeah.
Like, your memes prove the opposite of what you think they do. That's why we say the left can't meme. That's the joke, right? The left can't meme.
Yeah.
It's because they literally can't.
Yeah, they can't.
They actually don't understand how humor works. You're not actually pointing out the flaws of your enemy. You're pointing out your flaws, laughing as if they were your enemy's flaws, and they're not.
Yeah, no.
You're projecting. You're projecting, dumbasses.
Yup.
You're idiots showing. All right, we have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in there.
Yep.
I don't know why we need to make a category for it, Wyatt, but we did.
It is what it is. All right, so the polls. There's some new polls out. If you want to look at those and sort of discuss.
Have the job reports down there as well. Ted Cruz's stimulus bill. We went ahead and put that in there.
Yep. Yeah. So real quick on the Ted Cruz thing. The Ted Cruz bill that he proposed, the Recovery Act, is different from the ones that the Democrats have shot down. It didn't even make it to the floor.
Yeah.
But he did author it. And he detailed in his podcast what was in it, and there was some really, really worthwhile stuff in there that was really awesome. So,
and that's what I mean with Cruz as president. I feel like in a policy area, he has so much to offer. I agree he could be a good Supreme Court justice, but I mean in policy, I think he has a lot to offer.
Oh yeah, he does. He definitely does.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap up with Gun of the Month.
Wait, real quick. I also want to mention the Red Mirage thing.
Yeah, this is an interesting theory. Well, I don't know if it will or won't. I understand.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I get the concept. of like the initially it'll seem all Donald Trump, but then some of the mail-in votes will come in. At least the absentee ballots will come in on time. I get the concept of it, and I somewhat agree with the fact that yes, on the ground voting will go mainly for Trump.
Yeah, it will be.
So, but is it a mirage? A little bit doubtful there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're going to launch into the gun of the month here. We're sitting over about 10 minutes over 2 hours, so I don't want to bore you guys too much.
Real quick. Let's do a quick mention of. So check out the presidential polls that we put in there. There's some interesting stuff going on there.
Also, if you ever get a chance, highly recommend check out Gallup polling. Gallup does a good job.
Yeah, for sure.
But for presidential stuff, Real Clear Politics is in there.
And then they pull like a lot of the most recent polls.
Oh, and by the way, the vast majority of stories that I get are from Tatum Report and Bongino Report. So if you're interested in, getting some of the news we're in on, or just getting some of the stuff ahead of time before we talk about it, or keeping up with the news, I would say definitely look at the Bongino Report. That one's my favorite, and Tatum Report's also really good, and they're getting better. So I would say check out those people.
Sure. Yep, and then two last things. The Dow Jones is going up, so the stock markets are going up quite a bit. We're almost to pre-COVID levels. So it's pretty
but again,
good, man.
Stock market recovery is not indicative of actual economic recovery, simply because. I can go into the explanation of it, but just understand the stock market is not the actual economy. There's a reason the stock market is doing better than basically everywhere else, and that's largely because small businesses are failing, and those businesses weren't on the stock market to begin with, but the ones that were are now taking up their business.
Yeah, but it does seem that we are making somewhat of a V-shaped recovery, because if we look at the unemployment numbers, now it's fallen to 8.4%. And that was the last thing, is that the August employment numbers, we added 1.4 million jobs in August. So now our unemployment is at 8.4%. It was at 12 at the height of COVID. So this shit is like...
Hey, unlike Obama, we've almost actually got unemployment down below 8%.
Yep.
Almost.
Almost within 6 months.
Damn, Trump is good.
Yep. Too much winning.
Anyway, that's the numbers. That's all in the description below.
Yep.
Go check out the links. We have a lot of links.
A lot of links.
I don't expect you to check out all of them, but any topic you particularly liked, please click every link on that topic. They will be discussing different parts of it. There's a reason we include multiple links as opposed to just one source.
Yeah, absolutely. And so
you want to talk about the always.
Yep.
I'm going to try and be way more proactive with the comments. I might put some comments myself and try and engage a bit more if I can. So.
The gun of the month, bro.
Gun of the month. All right.
Yeah.
This month, and there's a reason for this. I went and bought this gun because stumbling into my local academy, I noticed there's not a lot of guns on the shelves. You may have noticed this too.
Yeah.
However,
those first-time gun buyers.
I know, right? If you get online, and panic buyers of the non-first-time variety, like myself. But if you get online, you may notice there's an ample stock of 22 LR. If you want to order 22 long rifle, you can. So in that spirit, I decided I was going to grab, plus you may already have bulk 22. I have about 5,000 rounds of it lying around, so I figured, hey, I'll pick up a gun at 22. So I grabbed the Heritage Rough Rider. They're roughly $150. They're a single action, kind of Colt Army style revolver. Very basic, but they're fun to shoot. They're here. Fun target practice.
Ooh,
really, really nice.
That sounds great.
Honestly, for the price, I'd say the quality's not bad. But again, sub $200, ammo's cheap. You want to get some time behind a trigger. You want to get used to guns. You want to get used to shooting. You only get 6 shot per cylinder. It takes a while. It takes a little while to reload them. It's a good way to conserve ammo and get some trigger time. Again, revolver, not something a lot of people are going to be shooting, though. Unfortunately, semi-automatics are way more popular. But just for some generic target practice, getting better behind the trigger, holding the gun better. If you want to just generic, sort of basic handling skills you want to improve, it's a great way to do it. It's really cheap, widely available. I found these in every gun shop I've been to that carries them normally, still has them. People aren't interested in buying these for defense weapons.
Yeah.
But if you want to get some practice and you don't want to spend all that money to buy this ammo, because it is expensive to buy some of this ammo right now, or maybe you can't buy it at all, definitely consider a 22, man. Cheap training.
Yeah.
If you recently picked up an AR and you don't know what you're going to do for AR ammo because it's hard to find, but you have no trigger time behind it, I'd say pop over to CMMG. They sell a conversion kit to let it shoot 22, and go pick up a box 22s, man.
Yep.
A lot of options, but that's the reason why this month's gun is a Heritage Rough Rider, because they're kick-ass, they're available, and they're an ammo you can afford.
Yep. And they're pretty,
they're fun.
Inexpensive.
They're expensive, but I mean, they're inexpensive, but that's, for me, there's also a novelty aspect to it. So, I mean, if you just like something cool to have in your collection, they're just kind of fun to have. There are comparable guns that Ruger makes. There's comparable guns by other companies. But Heritage Rough Rider is best known for that really budget revolver. So,
yeah,
if you're interested, again, around $150, go pick one of those up.
Hell yeah! All right. Any last words before I close?
I think we've pretty much covered everything.
Yeah.
Only other thing I want to do is plug always in this gun area. Protect your Second Amendment. Yes. Be vigilant. Australia is a good reason, a good example of why you really need to be vigilant of these issues. And if you genuinely want to be unhindered by the government, if you really want to put up a real resistance to it in a non-violent but meaningful way, buy a 3D printer. Learn how to use it. Print guns. Make your own parts. But seriously,
don't sell them.
Don't sell them. Don't break the law. Obviously.
Don't break the law.
But
you can print them for your personal
totally.
use inside of like your private property.
I'm saying that if you want to really guard against the government encroachment of your rights, there may be no way to do it legally.
Yeah.
There may be no way. There may be no way to do it via legislation. There may be no way to convince other people in your community to do it. But you personally can pick up a 3D printer reasonably cheap. I just grabbed one on sale, $175. I have experience with these printers. The ones I bought, that's an Ender 3. Really good. It's very common for the 3D printed gun community. If any of you are interested in the 3D printed gun stuff, just leave a comment, and I will link you to Control Pew's page, where you can get all the detail you possibly know. What printer you should buy, how to start, what calibration you have to do to the printer. It's all very simple. I've been printing some stuff myself. I gotta tell you, it's really not a challenge. But that would be my gun activism for the week.
Yeah.
Is go buy a 3D printer, man. They're cheap. They're real cheap now. They're available. The filament's available. I mean, you can do a lot of good with that sort of stuff. And if you're afraid you're not going to have access to guns, this is a great way to ensure that you do. Here's the other good thing about it. You don't have to go through a background check if you make the gun yourself.
Yeah.
And, it's not the background check thing that's the issue. It's that getting, actual guns made by manufacturers is hard right now. Going to a store, going to fill out a background check, going to places where they're selling guns, you're not going to find a lot of them. But parts are plentiful. Get online. Order the parts. Hook them up to your receiver. No problem. Very simple. Again, if any of you are actually interested, I'll go ahead and link the website in the description, in the comments, that I personally use for all my files, for everything like that. That's my 2 cents on it. I just recommend highly buying it. This is I just bought my second printer, for this sort of stuff, and I gotta tell you, it's really not hard. It's not a difficult thing to get into, and it makes a meaningful difference. I mean, if there were ever any serious tyranny in this country, you'd have a fighting chance. You'd have a real fighting chance. With a 3D printer, it's also the lowest budget introduction to this sort of stuff. If you want to get a CNC mill and start popping out your own guns, you're about $30,000 in right off the bat. This is about $180. Between that and 300,
Right.
A lot lower buy-in to get started with this sort of stuff. So, all right, guys. I think that's going to do it for the podcast. Wyatt, would you go ahead and wrap this up?
Yep. So, first off, I just want to thank everybody for watching, liking.
Sorry for our week-long break. Hope you understand.
Yeah. Yep. We really hope that y'all understand. We just, we should.
Labor Day. We just thought it was an appropriate thing.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so look forward to, hopefully this week, we will get, on the 17th, we will get an episode out, or a special, not an episode, a special out on the Constitution, which will not include the Bill of Rights. It's just going to be the Constitution.
We will briefly mention it, but to be totally frank...
No. We don't need to, and here's why. Because there actually is a Bill of Rights Day, December 15th. So
that's good. We're still going to mention it, though, because the Bill of Rights and other amendments are additions or changes to the Constitution. So we will mention them briefly, but for a full overview, we have a day for that. So this is mainly going to be a discussion of the structure of our government. That video probably will be recorded and released on either the 19th or the 20th, because that's the closest weekend. That's when we're going to record it. And it will not be in replacement of our usual episode. There will be a typical episode, but this will be an additional hour or maybe hour or two.
Yeah, and it will be exclusively on BitChute
as well. On BitChute for specials.
So,
We're Which is where most of you are anyway. So,
Yep.
hey, good job.
BitChute for most people are, but BitChute is exclusive for all the specials and extra content that we do, because occasionally we do bonus topics. So so go over there if you're on YouTube watching. Go over there, check it out. And I just want to once again thank everybody, and we will see you next week.
All right.